Sound check in the chat, please. If I could get a sound confirmation, we could proceed. Woo! What an evening for your New Jersey Devils. If somebody could just confirm in the chat that we're not having any audio issues. Thank you, Wojtek? Wojtek. Thank you very much. Thank you, Shoots. Wow. Wow. Oh, wow.
And how about those Devils? How about those Devils?
How about those Devils? Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your very happy host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And the New Jersey Devils return to the Rock, hosting the Pittsburgh Penguins, looking to erase the taste of an almost comeback defeat suffered in Columbus the other night. And did your New Jersey Devils erase that taste? Oh, baby, did they erase it? Shutting out Sidney Crosby and the red-hot Pittsburgh Penguins by a score of 3-0. An absolutely beautiful performance. And as you guys already know, where I'm going with this.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? A 12-shot shutout for my man and yours, Jacob Markstrom. And no bigger save than that one. And I believe the second period, Sid the Kid in the slot rips one. And Marky gets a little piece of it with the top of the glove before it hits the post. And what a big save. 12 saves, a couple big ones. I'm not going to complain about it. Light work for Marky tonight. Devils win 3-0. And as you already know, win or lose, we booze. We're still staying with the Dirty Devil vodka, the official vodka of the great Martin Brodeur. I'll put some information later for you can find it. They're now selling it online, actually. So for all of those of you that haven't been able to find it, it's now for sale online. Check out their website. You could buy and have it shipped directly to you. Smooth as hell, Dirty Devil vodka. We're going to go a little bit of that. You already know I got the little craft ball of ice. And I had a long day, so I need to cut it a little bit. I'm going to go with a little splash of the ruby red. You know, get the serving of fruit in there. A little ruby red grapefruit splash in there. But, wow, what a game. What a win. Cheers to all my Devils fans out there. The boys did it big tonight. Curtis Lazar still out. Dowling still in. Keith looking to switch it up a little bit, generate some more offense. We see Noesen bumped back up to the Nico Timo line. Mercer bumped down. Keith looking to spark it up. And boy, did it pay off. Did it pay off or what for Sheldon Keefe and your New Jersey Devils, my friends? It paid off. It paid off big time. This thing, happy holidays. Happy holidays. Whatever holiday you celebrate, happy holidays. Hope you guys are enjoying some time off, maybe time with friends and family. The holiday hat is very hot in the studio with all the lights, so I'm going to have to make the transition here. I'm going to have to make the transition. Wow. We get to the game, and I was super jacked to this one. I haven't been this excited for Devils hockey in years, guys. I mean, this team, I've said it since the summer, and I'm going to continually keep saying it. This is a battle-type group that is going to be dangerous in the playoffs. This is the exact type of roster that you need. And, wow, so we get to the game. First period, very tight. I think Devils had 5 shots, and the Pens had 4. Let me just double-check that. Pens with 5, Devils with 4. Not a lot of chances, a little bit of a feeling-out chess match early on. Not a lot of open ice. First period ends scoreless. We get to the second. A lot of back and forth still. Devils enter the zone. Timo gets it to Nico, and Nico uses a little a beautiful little spin move to evade the Pens defenders and throws a little backhand saucer pass across the crease through the Penguins defenders, and my man Stephan Noesen in his office, down low, bats out of the air into the net. His career-high 15th goal, topping his career high from last season of 14, and we are not even halfway through the season, folks, and he has a new high. Noesen, the junkyard dog, doing what he does best. And this was just the first play for him. His 15th at 17:32, giving the Devils the 1-0 lead from the captain, Nico, and Timo Meier. Second period ends 1-0. And going into the third, I was like, all right, we gotta hold down the fort, guys. This is going to be another one of those games tight. We might have to hold on to a 1-0 lead, try to win a 1-0 game. Not a lot of chances. We go to the third, nursing the 1-0 lead. Dougie blasts one on net. An absolute cannon blast from Dougie. Love to see him just let that thing go. The rebound sitting there. There's chaos in front of the net. My man, Stephan Noesen, manhandling. Straight up one-on-one. This is mano-a-mano, just battering Shea down. Just who wants it? Just one-on-one dogfight in front of the net. Noesen owning him. Just owning this man down low. Heavier, edgier, more violent. Noesen is bringing it down low. Just punishing Shea, causing the distraction. Nico locates the loose puck, kicks it to his skate blade, and quickly gets one on the ice through Jari's legs into the back of the net, giving the Devils the 2-0 lead at 7:47.
He's pretty, and he lives in Jersey City. Number 13, nicohischier.
Nicohischier, his 17th on the year, give the Devils a 2-0 lead, assisted by Dougie and Brendan Dillon. Love to see Dilly get the points. And this is how it stayed towards the very end. Devils with the 2-0 lead. Pens pull the goalie with the extra attacker and the empty net. Big block by Nico. Someone rips a cannon blast. Nico just eats it, blocks the shot. Brodeur hustles to the loose puck and backhands a pass to Timo at center ice. He puts it in the back of the net for his 12th to seal the 3-0 win at 18:27. And wow.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Timo Meier, baby. Timo time. His 12th from Brad and Nico, 3-0 win. That's how it ends. There's a little bit of a skirmish. Somebody wants a piece of Siegenthaler. He gets the takedown. Luckily, we haven't seen too much of that from Siegs. But the little skirmish, he gets the better of it. Lands on top of the pile. You love to see it. Heavier, edgier, more violent. These hats are still available on the website, by the way, with the beautiful Running with the Devils logo on the back. Or the front, but, you know, it's the back. With the heavier, edgier, more violent on the front. Check those out on the website while they last. They've been slowly kind of selling for all you fans of the heavier, edgier, more violent movement. But what a game. What a win. Your New Jersey Devils. We see a little bit of everything. Scoring, hitting, a little bit of a melee. Siegenthaler gets the takedown. And wow, oh, wow. Collect Records, thank you, sir, with the super chat. Cheers in honor of Noesen being a fucking beast. Let's go, Devils. Thank you very much. Collect Records, very much appreciated, sir. And Noesen is just, what more can I say? Junkyard dog. I was pumped when we got him in the offseason. He's delivered way more than I ever could have imagined in his role. 15 goals, just beating on guys. And I mean, wow, what a beautiful game for Stephan Noesen and the much-deserved first star of the game. I mean, he had the goal, and I'm going to call it an unofficial assist on the Nico goal. He was just in the crease, just battering Shea. This is just, oh my God, old school hockey. And I like that the refs were letting the boys play a little bit tonight. Noesen just imposing his will on Shea and just mauling him. Complete mauling him, and that is what allowed Nico to find the puck, put it in the back of the net. I'm going to call that the unofficial assist. But Noesen, the junkyard dog, you guys know I love this guy. I've been pumping his tires, since game one, essentially. He has been everything and more for this Devils club, and these are the types of guys that we've been sorely missing for the past few seasons, really. And it was obvious to anyone who watches the game, you cannot be skill and finesse. You need speed, skill, finesse. We had all that. But that group needed to be supplemented with some warriors. And Noesen, Cotter, Dillon, Kovacevic, these guys are warriors. They help you win hockey games, and especially when the playoffs come, It is an all-out war. All-out war, and you need these guys. Playoff Noesen is going to be a treat to watch, Devils fans. And with the unexpected offensive explosion that he's providing, I mean, Stephan Noesen is right there in the conversation for team MVP nearly halfway through the season. I mean, he obviously doesn't have the point totals, of some of the star players, but this guy does all the little things. By all reports, a great locker room presence, and he's an absolute dog. A junkyard dog warrior. Love me some Stephan Noesen, and another huge game for him tonight. First star of the game with a goal and an unofficial assist. Just absolutely owning Shea down low leading up to that Nico goal. You absolutely love to see it. And I think he's just that good. I think he has to stay on that second line, if I'm being honest. I liked it when they first gave him the chance. In the summer, I predicted he would get, another little, hey, how you doing? I predicted he would at least get a look in the top 6. And the results don't lie. I mean, I like him as a third liner as well, but the reality is him down low with the vision of Nico. I just think that they're going to have to kind of leave that be for the time being, and they're going to have to figure out what other little kind of things we could do in the bottom 6 to spark that up. Suswall, thank you, sir. Super sticker. I'm not really sure what this is, but appreciate the super chat. Suswall playing the guitar there. I wish I could play the guitar. One of the many things I wish I had taken up in childhood. That I did not. But thank you very much, Suswall. Really appreciate it. Your New Jersey Devils with a monster win tonight. And let me just see. Devils for life. You already know I'm entertained. Seth, how you doing, sir? Markstrom is the GOAT. I don't know about the GOAT, but he's damn good. Damn good. Brian, best team in the league, feels good. 6 consecutive games for your New Jersey Devils, limiting the opposition to 20 shots or less. And again, I don't care if I sound like a broken record, guys. This is old school New Jersey Devils hockey, period. Defense and goaltending above all. We have the offensive weapons. They just got to get enough goals for us to win, but we are going to buckle down in our own end, be hard to play against, and this Devils team is slowly molding. This was Keith's vision, and I told you guys, be patient. Again, everyone early on, the doomsdayers and the ledge jumpers after every loss, it takes time. You can't, Rome's not built in a day. It was not built in a day. This team, under a new coach, new system, a ton of new players, it wasn't going to happen overnight. It slowly started to take form. The defense is phenomenal. The great Martin Brodeur, he had plenty of, 14, 15, 16 shutout wins in his career. And I would love to see Markey just keep racking up these somewhat light work nights, resulting in a shutout. Defense first. Defense wins championships. The blueprint from the architect of it all, Lou Lamoriello, the Devils GM responsible for 3 Stanley Cup championships, and he always prided himself on building the team from the net out, strong defense, and that was the identity of your New Jersey Devils that saw him win 3 cups. Right behind me, we see Claude Lemieux, I'm opposite on the camera, Claude Lemieux and Scotty Stevens there, the 95 Cup. Then we see right here, Jason Arnott, the 2000, and then to the other side, the great Martin Brodeur, the 03 Cup. All 3 of those cups were defensively responsible, defensively stingy teams. And this team, again, I could never say with a straight face that any other team could really compare to those Devils teams. That's like once in a lifetime if you live through it. Congratulations to you guys. I feel blessed as a Devils fan at the right age, right time to see those dynasty teams. I mean, Scott Stevens, Scott Niedermayer, 2 of the greatest defensemen of all time. Martin Brodeur, the greatest of all time in net. We'll never have that culmination of players again. But a poor man's version of that, I think we do have, with Markey and net now really ratcheting it up. I believe he's either, I think he's 7-0-1 in his last 8. A lot of solid outings. His numbers are getting better. Goals against going down. That save percentage is going up. Suck it, SST. And the defense has just been clamping down. Garrett, Markey better be in net Monday. I really hope he is. You guys all know how I feel about that. When you have a horse like Markstrom, you have a legitimate number 1 goalie. They're creatures of rhythm, and I would love to see him get a string of games in a row. I do believe that he will be in net for the Ranger game. I don't see how he's not, But again, nothing surprises me. I just hope they, start letting him play a little bit more. Because I know he wants the net. And all number one goalies want to play. Period. Schutz agrees. Yeah, Mark, 100% got to be a net Monday. He's got to be. The insane Pollock. I always mess this up. I think it is Pollock, like Jackson Pollock. Pens were scoring 4 goals a game before tonight. Yeah, they've been on fire. I think they were like 7-2-1 or 8-2-1, something like that. They were seemingly dead in the water early on in the season, came alive, and now they're sniffing that final wild card spot. The Pens are not going to ever go down easy. Sid is the consummate professional, a legend of the game, complete warrior, still getting it done in his old age, and he has some decent players, with him, obviously Malkin. John Woodson, don't know how we got the win without Big Mac. Oh, you're funny. And Garrett is correct. Only Woodson is not entertained. Devils for life. Win or lose, we booze. Jeff, win or lose, we doom. Woodson and SST probably. I think so. I think you're correct there. Derek, 6 straight games allowing 20 shots or less. Devils back to ruining the game of hockey. Time to remove the blue lines and add an extra trapezoid somewhere. Am I right? I don't know. I don't think they could do anything to slow down the momentum of this club. And it's just absolutely amazing to see how this team in the last couple weeks have now kind of taken to this Sheldon Keefe identity and just limiting shots. It does seem that Markstrom is a goalie that does like to be in the action and see more pucks to kind of get in the rhythm. A lot of goalies over the years have said they don't like, extended periods of dormancy where they're sitting back there in the net and nothing going on and not involved in the game. But, I'll take my chances. We limit teams to under 20 shots right away. You are going to increase your chances of winning for sure. And when we could just find a couple mistakes to capitalize on with the loaded forwards we have, your New Jersey Devils club. Wow. Traveling Devil, thank you so much, my friend. A monster super chat from Traveling Devil. Merry Christmas. This is for 2 beanies. One for Ebenezer Scrooge, a.k.a. SST if he accepts. The other is for someone in the chat. You can pick. It should cover shipping also. The rest is a gift to you for taking the time to do what you're doing here for Devils fans. Much appreciated. Merry Christmas. Thank you very much, Traveling Devil. Very much appreciated. We'll see SST if he accepts. And the other one, wow. Oh wow. But thank you very much, Traveling Devil. Really, really appreciate it. We'll see. We'll see if SST accepts. And then I guess the other one, wow, how do I do this fairly? I don't want to just pick somebody. I'm going to come back to this in a second, Traveling Devil. I'm trying to think, what is a fair way to do this? Zebra Games is going on, my man. Zebra Games, are you on holiday break already? This is the youngest, somewhat regular in the chat. Zebra Games. We got a young buck, big Devils fan. Derek, the Meyer, Heischer, Noesen line seems to be the type of line that is tailor-made for playoff hockey. Pens had no answer for their cycle and net front game. Exactly. Heavier, edgier, more violent. You got the skill vision guy in Nico, defensively responsible, and you got the 2 heavy guys in Timo the Bull and Noesen in his office down low. It is, you hit the nail on the head. That is a beautiful line to go into playoff warfare with. I wish we had another one that was even remotely like that. Obviously, Jack and Jesper is more that elite, skill transition, breakout, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, catch you sleeping type line. But I do think the third line with some tinkerings, we could get a third line that is, a heavier possession, puck cycling, kind of punishing line too. But I agree. I do like the Timo, Nico, Noesen line, and I think they should be together for the long term, if I'm being honest. I think they just need to stick through the peaks and valleys. And if the rest of the team struggles, so be it, and just leave them intact. NJ Swamp Fox, Nason's a junkyard dog, works his tail off. Andy Markey, 6-0-1, 113 goals against, 942 save percentage in his last 7 starts. Wow. Those are Those are numbers that would make the great Martin Brodeur blush. Phew, 1.13 to 942. Oh, man, SST. Tell me more about how Markstrom was old and washed up. Let's go. Marky just hitting the fountain of youth of these past couple weeks. All right, so Traveling Devil, how do you want to do this? Do you want to do a trivia question? Do you want to do Luke, the microphone I have is a high-end microphone. This guy, Luke, man, I swear, always with the jabs about the outage. It has nothing to do with the microphone. It's the software. I've explained this 20 times. I can't continue to explain it anymore. You're very dense. Oh, someone suggests pick a number between 1 and 100. Yeah, I always like to do the trivia question, but it's not fair because I'm always going to all right, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick the number. I like to do the trivia, but it's not fair because people will never, you know, you younger fans aren't going to have a chance to get it, or newer fans. Kieran Morin with the super chat. Thank you very much, Kieran. Very much appreciated. Hope you're having a great holiday, and hope you enjoyed that New Jersey Devils victory tonight. Zebra's a young buck. I don't know. He's a young guy. Nice kid. Very nice kid. SST, it comes from the heart. All right, so I guess I am going to pick the number. Let me do a wheel of names for the chat for a random winner for the hat. I'm not set up to do all that on the... All right, so this is what I'm going to do. Man, SST... Jungle Static says, Traveling Devil for sure, man. Spread the cheers, guys. You guys are all great. Let's go, Devils. Ace, this is the best New Jersey Devils fan channel. Thank you very much, Jerome. Appreciate that. Rob, Ace, old man Rob here. Siegs, great night. This was an enjoyable Are You Entertained game. Cheers to you, Rob. It definitely was. All right, so listen, I'm going to have to come back to... All right, I'm going to pick the number. Thank you, Jesse. Jesse's a tech guy. It is a good mic. I go to the right place. Listen, I don't skimp, guys. I buy pretty high-end stuff. I've invested... I'm embarrassed to even admit. I'm not even going to say it, but I've invested thousands of dollars into all this shit. It's a sickness, but it has nothing to do with the quality of the mic. It is the software and connectivity issues. But, all right, bear with me 1 second, guys. Everybody, if you want to enter the contest for the beanie right now, throw out a number between 1 and 100. Or not 1 and 100, I guess. Oh, no, there is 2. I guess 1 and 200. Just in the hypothetical event that everybody wants to enter. If there's 2 people with the same number, I'll have to do it again. I'm just gonna go grab a marker. I'll be back in 1 second. I'm gonna write it down. I'm not looking at anything. I'm gonna write the number down on a thing and then show it. And we'll see. I'll be right back. 1 second. I gotta grab a marker. All right, guys. Let me write my number down. Number between 1 and 200. I'm writing it down right now. I'm going to give you guys about a minute. A minute to get your guesses out. Maybe even another 2 minutes. So maybe 3 minutes. There's a lot of people in here. Wow, you guys are... Cheers, guys. I love a Devils win. This is a fun little impromptu thing, courtesy of Traveling Devil Marks. Thank you very much, Traveling Devil. I'm going to write the first number down on my pad. I haven't looked at anyone's guesses. All right, it's a number between 1 and 200. Everybody get your guesses in. The numbers on the other side of this pad, I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds, and I'm going to have to rely on some of you to... and hit the like, by the way. Hit the like for the impromptu contest, courtesy of Traveling Devil. I'm going to do a couple more comments, give you guys some time to get your guesses in. Oh, wow, there's a lot. Yes, I'm going to have to rely on you guys to see who... but get the guesses in. A number between 1 and 200. I will show my pad momentarily. I'll do some more comments here in the meantime while you guys get all the guesses in. James, hockey isn't for nuns. Ever hear why Jesus can't play hockey? He's getting nailed into the boards. Ooh, that's going to rub some people the wrong way. Chico, I want to know how Keith tricked his team into playing defense. I just picture him shoving pills into peanut butter. You do it. Listen, buy-in takes time. The results are there. This team is defensively responsible now, and you love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. The boys are just finding their groove, and if they play like this in the playoffs, guys, I can only hope I am here with you guys. And maybe when I say here, I mean doing the live streams. I hope I'm on location somewhere for the Stanley Cup Finals, the 2025 Stanley Cup Finals. SST, does that mean you accepted the beanie? Kieran, Merry Christmas and thanks for being a forum for NJD. Let's go Devils. Thank you, Kieran. Appreciate it. Happy holidays. Let's go Devils. Wolf Rockin' 74. Speaking of hats, I want to buy another one, brother. I just don't have Venmo. Any help with this, my friend? Thanks, Ace. Email me. Just email me. Anything like this, just email me. I'll always try my best to accommodate you. If you don't have my email, you should. It's on the website. No softies from Marky tonight. That's because Marky gave up absolutely nothing tonight. Absolutely nothing tonight. Oh, my God. Sorry, guys. The chat's going crazy. I'm trying to keep up. My man, Richard Zimmer. Thank you, sir. I'll do a beanie too, but give it to somebody at a game and show us a video. I could do that, but I feel like it would be better to go to someone in the chat, but I'll let you decide that. But thank you very much, Richard. Appreciate it. Let me get back to the chat here. Wow, Ace, that's a bit much, dude. I don't know what you're referring to because I'm behind here. Jesse, I already got my top of the line beating, so you can count me out of the running. Thank you. Thank you for your order, sir. Much appreciated. All right. Now the guesses are coming in. I'm scanning. I haven't seen the number yet. A lot of guesses. I mean, in the interest of this not taking forever, should I pick whoever's the closest, or should I just tell everyone to guess again? I'm still scanning. A lot of guesses. Wow. Grant, if they're two of the same number, they fight to the death. Run the likes up. Appreciate that. Hit the like for your boy and your New Jersey Devils. Cheers to all you guys. I still don't see the number. I've seen a couple pretty close. Hit the like button, fools. I want to see 170. Can we guess more than once? I mean, I'm still scanning. I still don't see it here. Get the vid likes up to 100 and then announce. Well, someone would have to tell me. I don't care about that. If people don't want to like, maybe there's, like I said, there's a lot of haters among us. Maybe. I still don't see the number. Frank, Ace, might interest you to know that my son and I started texting back and forth about the shutout with about 10 minutes left in the game. They got the shutout. We don't believe in jinxes. Well, you know what, Frank? That's fine. You don't have to believe in jinxes. But don't be bringing that preliminary shutout talk around here, okay? Just like not everyone believes in Santa, but don't be talking about how Santa's not real in front of the kids. It's that simple. This is just common courtesy. Rich Reynolds, what's going on? Marky Robin Crosby on the doorstep was a thing of beauty. What a save. Originally, they were like, oh, it hit the post. And then on the replay, it's like, yeah, it hit the post after Marky got a little piece of it with the top of the glove. What a massive save. I still don't see the number. You guys are funny. I still do not see the number. Some very close ones. A lot of trash talk amongst folks in here. John Woodson, you know he picked 30 because of Marty. I'll tell you this. I did not. Because that would be obvious. Maybe I think a lot of people guessed. I think a lot of people guessed. Seth, thank you, sir. Super sticker. I'm not really sure what that is, but thank you for the super chat, Seth. Very much appreciated. Cheers to you. Hope you're having a good holiday, good weekend with your New Jersey Devils. Just treating us to a beautiful win tonight at the Rock in front of the home crowd. I still somehow do not see the number. Execution, Traveling Devil dropped a monster super chat, and as part of it, he purchased one of these beanies to give away in the chat. And so then I said that I guess the only fair way to do it was for me to pick a number between 1 and 200, because there was like 170 some odd people in here, I believe, at the time. So now I'm still scanning. George, do you think Allen will play against the Rangers? I certainly hope not. No offense to Allen, but Markey's that dude. He's in the zone. And you got to ride the hot hand. Joe, first time tuning into the stream, fresh home from the game. What great defense. 12 shots on goal. Oh my God, are you kidding? Cheers to you, Joe. You were there. What a beautiful win. 12 shots on goal. Remnant. That smells like Dynasty Devils type numbers, boys. A lot of close guesses. And I still don't see the number. Oh man. There's a lot of guesses in here. And I still don't see it. SST, I guess, has accepted, thanks to the beanie traveling. One of the greatest one of the greatest bickering matches back and forth I enjoy every game is resident commenters SST and Traveling Devil, both longtime knowledgeable New Jersey Devils fans who go at it sometimes, and somehow no one has guessed the number. Just give it to Zebra. All right, Traveling Devil, this is your thing, man. Should I just pick the closest or everyone guess again? I mean, this is crazy. I can't believe no one guessed it. Rempe gets his ass kicked on Monday. Can't wait. Oh, Kevin, you're out of the loop, Kevin. Rempe is going to face a suspension, probably a lot of games, for repeated dirtbag behavior. Got the match penalty last night. Boarding in his first game, being called up from Hartford. And he's going to be suspended for a while as a repeat offender. I mean, this guy can't stay on the ice. He's now been thrown out of so many games, and he's going to get a hefty suspension. Jesse, he is to some extent. I separate knowledge from bad takes. I agree he has tons of bad takes, but he is very knowledgeable about the history of the team and stuff. Just sometimes he lets his I don't know what you want to call it, but he has opinions that he won't sway from. Like the one he was talking about earlier today, where he's still talking about, the Cotter trade was bad and Holtz, blah, blah, blah. Like, Holtz has 2 goals on the year. What are we talking about? Rich, I took my buddy and his family to the game tonight. They are all hooked. His 7-year-old is now a diehard Devils fan. Let's go Devils. Let's go Devils, Rich. What a great game to bring people to. And that's part of your duty as a hockey fan. Unfortunately, our beautiful game is by far in the number 4 spot in the U.S. in terms of all 4 major sports. And it is your duty as a fan to get more people involved. Bring them to games. Let them see how amazing hockey is live. And that's how a fan base continues to build. Somehow, yeah, Rempe is getting suspended. Rempe probably suspended. I don't think they announced it. Amagi, what's going on? Traveling Devil bought a beanie to give away in the chat, so everyone's guessing a number between 1 and 200. And I still haven't seen the number. I think I'm getting... Rempe might get suspended for more games than he's played in his career so far. It's definitely possible. Chicken Wing Heiskanen. I mean, yeah. Rempe is a scumbag and doesn't belong anywhere near hockey. I'll be honest. As much as I hate him, I was rooting for what he was trying to do, because he was bringing back old school hockey to some extent. But now it's just become a clown show with constant dirty hits. There's a difference between doing it the right way and the wrong way, and he's just been constantly doing it the wrong way. And it's unfortunate, but he just can't get it under control. Garrett, Rempe opted for suspension to get out of fighting Big Mac. You guys are bad at guessing. Oh, man. How has no one gotten it? Bad takes are a commodity around these parts. Without what would we discuss? Never assume you're on the money. I mean, I think to say that Cotter, that the Cotter trade was bad and blah, blah, blah is what is Cotter? I mean, what is Holtz going to do for this team? He has 2 goals on the year. What would anyone? Okay. I'm curious if you could go back and reverse the trade and get Holtz back. Is anyone doing that outside of SST? I know I'm certainly not. Cotter's, towards the top of the list for league leaders in hits on the season. Heavier, edgier, more violent. You need guys like that. There is more than just production. And with that being said, he's going to finish the season with more points than Holtz anyway and throw a shitload of hits. My 12-year-old daughter has never wanted to watch hockey. She saw a Jack Hughes interview on TV and has now watched the past 2 games with me. Listen, however you got to hook them in, right? It does seem like some of the young guys on our team are very popular with the, teenage girl crowd. So there's nothing wrong with that. Jesse, there's a difference between heavy hitting hockey versus being dirty rags player. Agreed. Curious why Monday's game is a matinee. I think just because they think the whole world is off, even though they're not. A lot of people will be off, and it is interesting. I don't know. I can't see a game at 1 o'clock ever getting the TV ratings that you would at night, but maybe it's an experimental thing for the league. Paul, I also brought someone to his first game, my high school buddy, and he had a blast, joined in on all the cheers by the third. Very nice. Jerome says, F no, Cotter trade was a good move. I agree with you. SST, no one guessed the number. I did not miss it. I'm scanning. We got a lot of close ones, but no one got it. Blackatron, Traveling Devil purchased one of these beanies to give away in the chat, and I figured the only fair way to do it, as someone suggested, was to pick a number between 1 and 200. I have it written on my pad here from a couple minutes ago, and everyone just throwing out guesses. Somehow no one has guessed it yet. Alex, I'm taking Cotter all day over Holtz unless he takes off. We can't wait on that. No, cup time now. Exactly. It is win time now. Cotter is a win time piece, and he is going to be another monster for the New Jersey Devils in the playoffs. I just can't see, how you don't realize that. And I think SST does, but he's just trolling because, that's what he does. Jay Snow, no ace. I'm more disappointed with Halla. I'm happy with Cotter's play. Hopefully, we can see a little bit of contribution out of Halla here and there too. The reality is, as we all know, the bottom 6 has just gone icy cold. Rich Reynolds, +1 for Cotter. He was throwing big hits tonight, had a couple good looks. He's going to get back on the board soon. I agree. He knocked a defenseman out. I forget which one. He crushed a Pens defenseman, and they were playing with 5 defensemen for at least a period. Chico, it's kind of sad because there's a place at least part-time in the NHL for Rempe. If he threw clean hits, fought, block shots, learned to just do like basic defense, he would get 40-ish games a year. I agree, and I thought that's what he was well on his way to doing. But the reality is, for whatever reason, he just gets overly excited and he makes these poor decisions. And he did it again the other night where he boarded a guy, a clear boarding, smashed him into the glass, thrown out of the game again, and he is going to, pay the price in the form of a suspension. And I think they might really throw the book at him this time and, make an example out of him. Garrett, thoughts on Mercer so far? I mean, obviously a little underwhelming offensively speaking, but he's another guy I think that plays with a lot of energy. He could play in all situations. And so I, again, would like more production out of him, but I am not going to be dogging him like a lot of people have been. I was hoping for like a 50-ish point season from him. I know a lot of people wanted to see more, but I thought, being able to play all scenarios, big penalty kill guy, getting 50 points would have been good. Right now, he's on pace for not quite there. Let's see, 36. He has his Iron Man streak going. Hasn't missed a game in his career, even though he took that puck to the face. He popped a birdcage on, and he's got 7 goals and 19 assists for 16 points through 36. Yeah, so right now he's on pace for 36 points, which is obviously not what you want to see out of him. You'd like to see, like I said, closer to the 50. But I value what he brings, and I do like Mercer. I do understand why a lot of people are down on him, but what were you really, I was really only expecting the 50 points. Were people expecting him to be a 70-point guy? Maybe they were, but I never was. And with the depth the way it is, I know a lot of you thought he would stick on the second line, but I always thought there was a chance that he was going to slip into that bottom six. It's just we have a lot of guys that are playing well that could bring different elements to the top two lines, and if it's not working like it wasn't, a guy like Noesen could get in there. John Woodson says Mercer got to go. Greg Orlando, all three of our D pairs are in the top 10 in the league with Nemitz and Casey in the minors. This D group is ridiculously good. Riches on defense. I took a screenshot of it during the game. They showed, for the D pairings, in terms of offense, the Dylan Hamilton pairing, goals for per 60 minutes, Dougie and Dilly at 3.59, which ranks 5th in the league. That's an offensive statistic for defense. And then in terms of defense, Siegenthaler, Kovacevic for goals against per 60, Siegenthaler and Kovacevic are at 1.32 goals against, which ranks 3rd. And then Luke Hughes and Pesci are at 1.6, which ranks 8th. So defensively, two of our pairs are in the top 8 in terms of lowest goals against per 60 minutes. I mean, wow. To have two pairs in the top 8, who else could boast that? And then when you get the offense going, and then you have a goalie like Markey, it's all the recipes for... All right, guys, we have a winner. We finally have a winner. And if someone... we have a winner. We have a winner. I will reveal... on my notepad, the winning number was 126. And Kieran Morin has just came in with the winning number, 126. There it was on the pad. You have won, Kieran. Message me your address, and we'll get that out to you, courtesy of Traveling Devil. Kieran, you have won. It's finally over. D-Rock, Holt is beer league slow. Zetterlund was the one that got away. I agree Zetterlund was the one that got away. But with that being said, I say this every time as well. You have to give to get. And so what else were we going to give up to get Timo? Like, it sucks. I liked him. I thought he showed flashes when he was here. I thought he could have been one of those guys to kind of be the next kid. Excuse me. The next kid to ride into the future with the core guys. I thought he could have been, but I also thought that something like what happened could have happened, and in that a team kind of in a rebuild was looking to cash in one of their pieces for younger guys they could build with, and Zetterlund fit the mold for the Sharks. And it sucks. He is a monster. Zetterlund would love to have him here, but Timo was more of a win now piece for us. And so again, that's another trade that I would not change for anything. It is what it is. Jay Snow, Ace, Toffoli would have been beautiful on this team right now because of his finishing ability. I just feel like, listen, I'm a Toffoli guy. I like Toffoli a lot. With that being said, I had zero interest in paying him anywhere near $6 million. That would just be, complete mismanagement of the cap, and he had to get his money. I get why it all happened. It sucks that the trade with Sharon Govich, getting Toffoli was a win-now move. We were hoping to have him for a playoff run. The team fell apart last year, and we cashed him in for picks. But at $6 million, I have no interest in Toffoli. Now, if he was, looking to sign for $3 million, I would have said, "Come on down, Tyler." Even though you are slow and sometimes look like you're skating with a piano on your back, you are a sniper, and you would be a very big asset on the power play. But $6 million, you can't do it. You just can't allocate that kind of money to a guy like him at the stage the Devils are at now. Does the number exist within the third dimension? Someone got it. It's been it's been one. Maybe we should have guessed how many games Rempe gets. I think he's going to get a good amount. Bigger deadline priority for you, courtesy of Dire Wolf. Top 6 winger, bottom 6 center. I mean, that's a loaded question. If you're asking me what I'd rather have, I'm always going to pick a top 6 piece over a bottom 6 piece. If because in the end, you imagine those are bigger difference makers by and large. But the reality is, because of the cap situation, for those of you that are looking for a top 6 winger, I'm here to tell you, I don't think it happens. I could see a bottom 6 center. I could see, a middle 6 forward, but I don't think you're going to see anything too splashy. Obviously, our defense is beyond set. And in terms of tweaking the roster, the really only thing that you'd like to see is maybe, a bottom 6 or middle 6 piece where maybe someone could bump someone from the 3rd line to the 4th line, and now our 3rd line looks a little different, or just a straight up upgrade on the 4th line. But as the team continues to play the way they are, I don't know. And again, limited cap space, I don't think you're going to see something splashy. Now, I could be wrong. And there's tons of hockey to be played between now and the deadline. Tons of hockey. Let's see. Yeah, the deadline's March 7th. So you're talking about, 2.5 months away. That is almost an eternity in terms of games played. And so there's no way to really know what we're going to look like at that juncture. I imagine this team is going to be playing pretty damn consistently solid throughout, that time. So I don't think we're ever going to see a thing where it's like, oh my God, you got to make a rash move because the team is struggling. And so I think you're just going to see a small tweak, if anything. And I honestly probably wouldn't be surprised if Fitzy does nothing. I do. If I had to bet, I think maybe a piece, but it wouldn't surprise me if the team continues to play like this, that if he does nothing. It really wouldn't. Jay Snow, Rempe's a piece of garbage. The headhunting. He's going to really injure someone on these dirty hits. Well, he's going to be, I think, probably suspended for a good 5 to 10 games, I think. Mercer will struggle to get in the 40-point range. He could get streaky, though. He could potentially get past 40. He's on pace for 34 right now. He could have a streak of like 7 or 8 points in 5 games, I think, to kind of boost his average or his projections back up. But he might not. And to me, that's okay. As long as he's doing what he has to do and the rest of the guys are finding offense, I'm not harping on it. But I know a lot of guys are down. A lot of guys want to, kind of beat down on Mercer. And Mercer's probably never going to be that 30-goal scorer. I don't think he will be on the Devils. I think he could be elsewhere, but I don't think it's going to happen on the Devils. And again, I think he fits a role on this Devils club. I really do. Chico, if Mercer had been a 3rd-round pick, the fan base would be following him around, kissing the ground he walks on. I want more production too, but I refuse to hear the doom is on Mercer. Chico, I'm exactly where you're at. Like, listen, is he doing what people maybe originally expected him to do? No, but often guys will find a different role other than what you imagined when they were drafted. And the reality is he has a role on this team. He can be put out there in all situations. He can defend. He brings the energy. I like the kid. I think he's a good player. I think you need guys like him to win as well. And I don't need a ton of points out of him. Again, I would like to see closer to 50 points than 30. But I think he definitely finishes. If I had to bet on it, I think he finishes the season with at least 40 points, which again will be a little disappointing, but not the end of the world. They're a top 6 guy short, maybe. Trolling in Paradise. Did the crowd sing that "na na 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 hey goodbye" song at the game tonight? I didn't catch that. But maybe someone who was there. I didn't catch it on the broadcast. It wouldn't be alive if someone didn't bring it up. Mercer and Nemitz for Brady T. I don't think that would be nearly enough to get it done. And again, cap space is an issue. Cheers to you guys, Dirty Devil Vodka. Let's go. I don't think that would be nearly enough. And again, you have to free up a ton of money. I don't think it's going to happen. I personally thought the dream died when it didn't happen this past summer. I thought if it was going to happen, there was no better time than before the draft when we had that number 10 overall pick that would have been an attractive piece in the trade. It didn't happen, so I don't think it's going to happen. But even cap space aside, Mercer and Nemitz, I don't think it's going to get it done. Sean, we are so much better than last year. I agree with God. We are so much better than last year. 100%. 100%. And that's what bringing in two veteran defensemen and a young defenseman in Kovacevic, who's just playing lights out for the Devils. 3 upgrades on defense. Bottom 6 dogs. Well, I guess now one is a top 6 in Noesen and Cotter, but you need this. You need these guys to win. Blackatron traditionally running a defensive system like this. Devils always opt for balance scoring over 1-2 guys who score the bulk of the goals. Thus, the reason we have never had a 50-goal scorer. Very good point. Obviously, Brian Giunta owning the franchise record with 48 goals. He came so close that year, and no one's been able to top it. A couple years ago during 22-23, later on in the season, there was a point where it looked like Jack could threaten to top the record, but in the end, he couldn't do it. Oh, everyone's saying congratulations. Best 2 out of 3. Where is Marino? Marino's in Utah. Last I heard he was hurt. Is he still hurt? Sean, be a Christmas gift to win versus the Rags on Monday. I mean, the Devils got to bring their A game. Bring the A game, play like they have been, and there's no reason why they can't get another big win. I am a little disappointed that Rempe won't be playing. That was an exciting plot line, a little subplot line of the game that he robbed us of when he got suspended. I mean, what an idiot. What an idiot. I'm more annoyed losing Sharangovich because we got nothing to show for it now. I think you're one of the people that brings this up a lot. Listen, Sharangovich was never going to break out like he did in Calgary here. He just was buried too far down. And on top of that, trading for Toffoli was a win-now move. I'm a win-now guy. After that 22-23 season, Sharangovich has 6 goals and 3 assists for 9 points in 27 games. He got paid last year, and then he fell off a cliff. It doesn't look nearly as big of a loss as it, right now as it looked last year. And I'm never going to use the hindsight to go, the Toffoli thing didn't work out. It sucks. The whole Toffoli situation, it sucks. We traded for him to bolster that 22-23 team. Said now we're bringing in a vet, a sniper, a finisher to bolster the lineup we had in the playoffs and then hopefully go on a nice run last year. It's a win-now move. I can't get mad at it. We didn't mortgage the future. We traded one guy. It is what it is. Derek, one of the many things I love about our decor is how clean our crease is. Opposing players have had to pay a heavy physical price to even get close to Marky. We have 6 monsters on the back end. Yeah. You got to take care of the house. That was a trademark of the old Devils teams as well. If you came near the great Martin Brodeur, you were going to pay a price. Now, again, you can't compare anything to that. Even the quote unquote kind of less star-studded defensemen were rough and tumble guys like Kenny Danico, Colin White. We had some bruisers back there that would just absolutely smash guys if you went near Marty. It's not quite to that level, but we have the bodies to clear out the crease, and we're slowly getting a little more snarly. I would love to see, Siegenthaler continue. It seems like with him, he gets angered a lot, and he doesn't often follow through on it. Tonight we saw a big takedown in the closing minutes of the game. Jerome, I agree that he is too slow. At a cheap price, though, I would have got him just for the power play. But I ideally we want speed. Yeah, Toffoli. The thing that I got really angered with him last year, I forget what game it was. It was late in the season when we were very desperate for wins. It was a road game. And he just completely didn't back check at all. And it was like a half-ass, like he skated back a little bit. And a guy was coming up and he did the laziest poke check. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's checked out. That was kind of the beginning of the end for me. Insane Pollock, are they wearing paper bags over their heads in the stands now in Buffalo? I mean, my heart goes out to Sabres fans. It really does. You never want to see a team, I have no beef with the Sabres. We don't really have much history with them. They tried to do a nostalgia hire. They brought Lindy back. They haven't been in the playoffs in eternity, and this is going to be another year of no playoffs. For $5.5 million, Sharon Govich is worse than Palat. Yeah, another rare comment I agree with Woodson. Sharon Govich had that breakout year, and now he's doing nothing. And I don't know that he could even, if given the opportunity Palat has now, if he would even be able to fill in that. I don't think he's going to do the little things and get in the corners and get his nose a little dirty the way Palat does, those underappreciated elements that he brings. Sharon Govich isn't doing that. I'm dying. I don't know, guys. Toffoli was one-dimensional liability for everything but scoring. Devils for life. Big night for captain. Also big showing for PK. Killed 3 of 3, I believe. Oh, yeah. Thank you. That reminds me. Let me get to the game stats. Penguins with 12 shots on goal. What a defensive outing for your New Jersey Devils. The Devils with 28 shots on goal. Face-offs pretty close. Pens 48.1%. Devils 51.9%. Pens 0 for 2 on the power play. Devils 0 for 1. Pens with 9 hits. Pathetic. Devils with 22. Pens with 11 block shots. Devils with 15. Pens with 19 giveaways. Devils with 15 giveaways. Pens 7 takeaways. Devils 4 takeaways. Yep. D-Rock, no way for Toffoli. Palms is the answer. I do think this is a very divisive one for a lot of the fan base. I don't think Lou's ever going to make a trade with us to bolster a team trying to win the Stanley Cup, if I'm being honest. But I'll entertain it for the moment, just for the sake of conversation. I don't know if Palmieri is the answer. Could be. It could be. I wouldn't hate the move if it came cheap, but again, you have to clear cap space for him. I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't love it. I would be, I guess, cautiously optimistic and hope it worked out, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Lou's going to do it. Do you have tuberculosis or something? Wasn't tuberculosis eradicated like in the 80s? I don't know. I'm just something in my throat. I don't know what's going on. I was outside in the cold for a while today. Maybe I'm getting a little sick. He needs to put some tussin on it. John Woodson, Luke lost a shot. Dougie doesn't have the bomb anymore. Luke, I mean, did he lose a shot? He's just being more defensively responsible. We see him creating when he gets into the O-zone with the puck. He's dangerous as ever, and he still has a snipe of a shot, I think. Maybe he's not getting off like the blasters as often, and Dougie's not either. Dougie, it could be the thing with his pec. All of his goals have been like sniper wrist shots or snapshots. Rarely is he winding up and firing with authority like he used to. Sean, if you could bring one player from the Rags to the Devils, who would it be? Are you talking about like on a 1 year basis or like for career? That would matter. Stamkos for a 3rd rounder will never happen. He makes way too much money, and they're never fitting him under the cap either. I wanted Stamkos very badly in the summer. Those of you that have been with me since then, I wanted Stammer really bad. I thought he could have been a perfect piece to play with Jack and Jesper, and that could be a lethal line. Let's see how good Fitz is. Palat is the linchpin. Stammer makes too much. Yeah, he makes way too much. He went for the money, and now in a unpredictable, in my opinion, unpredictable chain of events, Nashville's hot garbage. Wow. Convert Seamus Casey to forward. I don't think we'll see that either. I do think it's interesting that a lot of people I feel like have said that, but I don't know how realistic that would be. Luke, isn't Stamkos playing terribly on Nashville? Well, he was struggling. I don't think he's terrible. I mean, 34 games, 9 goals, 10 assists, 19 points and a -12. That's definitely struggling. Can't put a top 6 with Jack that can't play defense. It's a fair point. And Pally is valuable in that regard because sometimes Jack just won't be able to get back. I want to see Fitz go for it going into the playoffs. So do I, but there is cap restrictions. And the reality is, I was talking to one of my friends earlier today, outside of a top 6, which could be, you could make the argument that Palat is a good complement to those two guys. And our defense is completely locked in. So where do you look? Like, what is the piece? Like, upgrade Bastion? What do you, I guess the fourth line. Yeah. Like Laser with, could you get 2 fourth liners? I mean, I don't know what people really want to see, but there's not too many pieces where I think there'll be a clear upgrade available. John Woodson, I agree with you again. It pains me to say he did go for it in the offseason. And all the moves you saw, Dylan, Kovacevic, Pesci, Cotter, Noesen, like the revamp happened in the summer. There's not too much more to do here, in my opinion. Oh, MB went on the ice after Markey shutout. Nice. Jay Snow, no way Fitz doesn't make a move going to the playoffs, especially if the bottom 6 continues to struggle. Yeah, I think you will see a bottom 6 forward brought in. But everyone that's asking for a top 6, I don't think it's going to happen. Robert, big priority for Fitz should be locking up Luke long-term. He's looking like he could be a top D-man for years to come in the NHL. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody thinks that. At least a very good, compliment to our other pairings. But he's going to get a lot. A lot of people are going to be shocked. Fitzy, in a press conference a couple days ago, said that he was going to talk to his agent soon. I expect him to get signed at some point, and it's going to be between $7 and $8 million, I think. Greg with a bold proclamation here. Mercer drives the play solid defense, and will score 30. Is that as a Devil, Greg? I agree with everything else. I don't know about the 30 goals on the Devils. I think that could be asking for a lot. 36 points is not cutting it. What's going on, Ariel? Finally went to a shutout win instead of a loss. Let's go. It's about damn time. To all the Mercer haters, 9 times out of 10, you lose a Mercer trade. Yeah, he's streaky, but every team in the NHL would want him if he was available. He's a glue guy. Has lots of room to go. Keep. I agree with you there, Direwolf. A lot of people just look at pure stats, and it's like there's more to a player than just the pure stats that you see in the there's way more than it. Mercer belongs on the third line. I think that's where he's going to end up settling. Cape Dweller, I think Fitz would really have to to get blown away to make a move. He may be content to go ahead with this team as is. I agree there as well. Lots of hockey to be played before the deadline. We got about 2.5 months. But if the team is winning games at the rate they are now, I could see it happening. But if the bottom 6 is nowhere to be found on the score sheet, he might want to, do something to try to improve the depth scoring, because it is hard to win in the playoffs without at least some contributions from your bottom 6. Sammy, need to give Foot a legitimate chance instead of wasting time with Dowling. I thought we would see more of Foot. I also thought we'd see Hallinan at some point, and with all these call-ups, we saw Bowers, we saw all these guys called up, Legary, and still no Hallinan. Foot has been a winger. Is he capable of playing center? I don't remember it because that's a big thing. Dowling is a true center. And when Laser comes back, I think Dowling's going back to Utica. But I would like to see a fourth line maybe of, Foot, Bastion, and Laser when he's back. We'll see. The fourth line is still a work in progress. I mean, we've seen so many versions of it already at the halfway point. I mean, it's wild how many different fourth lines we've sent out. I hope Mercer shines in the playoffs. I hope a lot of guys shine in the playoffs. I think there's going to be a lot of coming out parties, and I think Brodeur is going to be one of them as well. Amagi had some dimes in front of me, excited over my recital of the Ric Flair promo video in the third period. Nice. Derek, since the 4-game losing streak in late October, they've only lost back-to-back games once. And that one time they outshot Toronto 38-17 and were so unfortunate to lose. This team bounces back, resilient. Love to see it. Love to see it. We lose a game, get it. They move on, come back strong. Woodson, I've seen Luke get smashed live versus the Devils. I've seen Luke get smashed live versus the Devils last year, and he got up and played on Panthers. Okay. Alex, Mercer can be the best locker room guy in the world, but if he's going to score 30 points and isn't providing consistent defense, we ought to trade him for a more useful piece. What are you trying to trade him for, though? How do you think the team gets better by trading him, and what are you getting for him? Because, again, I think he's a guy that, is not fully understood by the masses. But, again, you're just looking at points like others have pointed out. He does play solid defense. He is a glue guy. You need guys like that can do a little bit of everything, and I think Mercer is one of those guys on this team. Rich Reynolds agreed. Surprised we haven't seen Willman or Foot more. Yeah, I said Hallinan, but Willman's another one. I mean, wow. Woodson is not a fan of the Dipsy Doodles. He's definitely not. We know that very well. What's going on, Mary? Hey, Ace, I didn't get to watch the game tonight, but kept tabs on it while out and about. Well, look at you, just being young and youthful and enjoying your life. Happy to see it was a shutout. Beautiful shutout, Mary. It was a beautiful one, and maybe you shouldn't watch the games. Maybe you should just keep tabs on it, and we'll keep getting shutouts. No, I'm kidding. But also, congrats on 5K subscribers. Thank you very much, which reminds me, I am going to be doing a giveaway, a massive giveaway show. It will be alive. There'll be multiple components of it. If you're not, follow me. Oh, my God. Follow me on Instagram, X. For people that shit on Facebook, go on the Facebook, because there's going to be elements of it for all these platforms, but it will be in the next couple of weeks. It will be on a live. I have tons of memorabilia, merch, and apparel and stuff that I will be giving out. I'll probably do an announcement video with all the rules and stuff, so keep an eye out for that. That'll be coming soon. We also will be releasing our very first New Jersey Devils former player sit-down interview. Will be coming out in the next couple weeks as well. A lot of cool stuff coming up. But thanks, Mary. Hope you had a fun night out wherever you went. Frank, compare Mercer career stats to Lafreniere, same draft. Lafreniere first overall, Mercer 18th, almost identical points per game average. And a fair point, right? Like, yeah, Lafreniere may never live up to the number one overall, but people have now accepted, that maybe his game is going to look a little different than they originally envisioned. But that is a very good point, Frank. 17 picks later, and it's like, is your guy that much better? I mean, listen, Lafreniere, I think, is better, but probably not by as much as Ranger fans would want you to believe. What is he doing this year? Let's see. Yeah, 21 points on the season. John Woodson, Markstrom will shut out the Rangers. Oh, God, I'd love to see back-to-back shutouts, especially against the Rangers. It'd be phenomenal. Jay Snow, don't need Luke to bury, guys. He's got elite speed and great stick work. NJ Swab Fox, Luke is light years better on D this year over last. Sky's the limit as a two-way D-man. I agree. I do think we will slowly see him, putting up more and more points as the season goes on, but definitely Sheldon Keefe wanted him to focus on the defensive element of his game, and we've obviously seen him improve in that regard by leaps and bounds already on the young season. Traveling Devil, Ruff had a good line for you last year, Woodson. He said, you don't watch the game very well. Oh, classic Lindy. Jay Snow, I still want Big Mac to play versus the Rangers. I can see that game getting chippy. I couldn't agree more. I want to see Big Mac in the lineup regardless of Rempe being in the lineup or not. That is a game where even though the Rangers showed no life or anything in the last game and they just kind of laid down and died, I don't expect that to happen again in this one on Monday, and I do expect a much livelier, nastier Rangers team. And for that reason, your boy Ace, I am throwing Curtis McDermott. The toughest man in the National would be in my lineup for that one. Hold on 1 second, guys. I need to get tissue. I'm dying. 1 second. I'll be right back. 1 second. Oh, my God. Oh. I'm also going to get some Christmas chocolates, which, by the way, I mean, this is random, but these things, I'm a huge Reese's peanut butter cup guy. These Reese's caramel cups, these things absolutely suck. They're such trash. I don't know why you'd mess with perfection. Reese's peanut butter cups, the regular ones, and I only got these little baby ones. I wish I had the bigger ones in the wrapper like this because they're like 4 times the size. But I don't know what they were thinking. Caramel cup, absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. John Woodson, Ruff doesn't coach very well. I mean, the poor guy, he's a legend. He's high up there on the all-time wins list. Went back to Buffalo, and it's not working out. It's unfortunate. I really wonder if they give him the mercy bullet or if he just rides out the whole season. I mean, wow. What a disaster. Remember all the homers saying, oh, it's not Lindy? Yes, it was. I think he was a huge part of it. Or maybe not a huge part of it. He was a sizable part of it. But in fairness, Woodson, you got to be fair to Lindy. I wanted him gone towards the end. I gave him a much longer leash. A lot of people were calling for his head early on in the season. I wasn't there until like not too long before it happened, like February. But Lindy had no goalies. And overall, Keefe has way better play. Like, the roster is way better. I mean, the defense got upgraded tremendously. You know, Marino, Ball out. Nemitz now demoted and replaced with Johnny Kovacevic, Brendan Dillon, and Brett Pesce. I mean, the defense just improved immensely. And then obviously Markey in net is way better than SST's boy Vanacek or what Akira Schmid was giving us. And so it's not a fair apples to apples comparison at all, because again, the team is way better with way better players. But I do think Lindy was definitely contributory to the issues. Oh boy. Brendan Smith is a better D-man than Luke. Take away Pesce from Luke and he's going to be back to the 23-24 self. I don't know about that. Luke, Lindy was letting the team run like a clown show, zero discipline. I do think that lack of discipline and accountability for some guys was an issue. And Fitz even said it in the offseason last year at one of his press conferences, was that maybe the team was too much of a country club. I mean, you never want to hear someone say that, but that's a very honest kind of realization from Fitz. And I don't think, obviously the General Keefe is not that guy. Verge Tibbs, my biggest surprise this year is how Luke went from a liability defensively to almost elite in one offseason. Verge Tibbs, that again goes back to coaching. Keefe definitely had a conversation with him and said, listen, you're a defenseman. You gotta defend. And as someone else pointed out, obviously being paired with Brett Pesce, a very sound defensive defenseman, was a huge bonus for him. And so when you combine all those things, it has been a miraculous turnaround. Luke did look lost at times last year defensively. Now he's looking like a guy who's capable of playing very good defense, using that stride, his long stick, closing the gap on guys kind of quickly, coming, racing back. You'd love to see it. He's had a lot of great plays that kind of went under the radar to break up chances for other teams. And listen, I'm a big fan of Luke. I am. I think he's very good. Defense wins championships for sure. Select the boy. What's up, Devils fans, folks, and Ace? What's going on? Jim Beam, Devils own the Pens. You love to see it. Noesen continues to be a revelation. Absolutely. The guy has major Blake Coleman vibes. The dude is a problem. With no disrespect to Blake Coleman, I mean, Stephan Noesen is just the junkyard dog. The junkyard dog we needed. Absolutely beast mode. Insane Pollock, Ace, did you yell in your living room like you were at the game, hence the coughing? So I always yell. I like to watch the games either by myself or only with one of my other psychotic Devils fan friends, because I get very into it. Very into it. And I was yelling. I mean, what a game. What a game. Blackatron, it's a shame what happened with Colin White. He was like a Stevens-Danico hybrid. He was just never the same after the eye injury, and that set the Devils back. Never talked about enough. Yeah, Colin White, a two-time Cup champ, 2000 and 2003. Always loved Colin White. Kind of gets forgotten about amidst all the other big names on those squads. I always loved Colin White. He was heavier, edgier, more violent. Mean SOB. Would drop the gloves if he had to. Cleared the crease. Smashed on guys. And he's a throwback. You don't see too many guys like him. And it may have been you, but someone pointed out a few weeks ago that they're like, number 5, Dylan reminds me a little bit of him. And in some of those ways, in terms of physicality, he does remind me of Colin White to an extent. What's going on, Maria? Did you get your flu shot? Was there tonight? Love to see Jack and Luke's game evolving. I don't do the flu shot. I don't think I haven't had the flu in years. I get little colds, and I was outside for a while today doing some stuff, so my body's probably in a little bit of shock. It was frigid. And then yelling at yelling like a maniac at my television probably doesn't help. Liam Smith, last year Siegs was on my shit list. He has completely changed my opinion this year. He's been an absolute demon lately, and I'm loving it. Agreed. He was playing injured last year, and a lot of us were just like kind of over him, looking like a new man, being healthy this year, playing with Kovacevic. He looks like a new guy, and you love to see him, get involved in the shenanigans at the end of the game with the takedown there. True Patriots going on. What's up, Ace? Just got home from the game. Mark you with a shutout. Solid night. Absolutely. Jason, no, we're going to have $3.5 million. We can have another team retain money for a player. You could. I'm curious who you guys would want. I mean, there's going to be guys out there once teams are fully, out of the playoff race, where all the UFOs shut down in NJ. No, they think they're drones, but at this point, I'm tired of hearing about it. Apparently, they're looking for some sort of bombs or nuclear shit. I don't know. Jason, no, it's hard to come back from a pec injury. Dougie's clapper might not be all the way back. I mean, it seems that way. He's wound up a couple times, but we've seen him utilize more quick shots like wristers and snappers than just winding up all the way with that long stick of his. Traveling Devil doesn't get blue line shots because every team fills the slot up with players against the Devils. Luke always skates the puck in and tries for a shot. Woodson is shit-talking Colin White. I'm convinced this guy is a troll now. True Patriot. I see Woodson still spewing verbal diarrhea. Woodson, Luke had 2 point-blank shots versus CBJ and looked like Siegs was shooting the puck. Liam, I love how you go comment to comment Ace, you're a beast, brother. I try. I got to skip some just because, I fall behind. And now I'm like, 15 minutes behind or so? Let's see. Jerome, can we talk about Marky's sick mask? Oh, man, a new mask for Jacob Markstrom tonight. Perhaps one of my favorites. That thing is just sick. It looks very much like an old school. Oh, God, Mike Dunham. Mike Dunham had a very cool mask back in the day that looked very similar. But that is another beautiful mask from Jacob Markstrom. And it looks like he's going to set the single-season record for most amount of beautiful masks worn in a season. John Woodson, it's not an insane Hughes hate. I just prefer tough, physical two-way hockey players over flash and bang. I do too, but you need to have a little bit of both. You need a little bit of both. Richard Zimmer, Ace, is Chris going to hang with you again for this next game? I think he should wear the beanie for losing the first one. That remains to be seen. We'll see. Chico, these Mercer haters would have traded John Madden in 2002. Probably. They probably would have. John Madden, another legend. Him and Pando, just two absolute franchise legends. Depth, part of the nucleus of the team, really. Shutting down the team's top lines night in and night out. John Madden and Jay Pandolfo, just absolute monsters. I want to see Hallinan too. Whose wife did he sleep with? If Nemit's last name was Hughes, he'd be up with the big boys too. I don't know about that. Blackatron, I don't think Fitz makes a move as we stand now, barring injury, but that doesn't mean his phone isn't going to ring off the hook come deadline time. I mean, who are the people are going to be calling on him for? Susswall, Nason said the home crowd will bleed red versus blue shirts on Monday. Rock the Rock. Yeah, I'm curious to see with the Rangers being so bad, are there fans as likely to show up in droves to our building as they normally do? Or they just say, the team sucks. We're going to sit this out. True Patriot, Brat throwing the body has been a great addition to his game this year. He's been tough on pucks all year. Yeah, I mean, wow. He had a nice, a very kind of overtly physical play. I forget if it was the second or third, but he kind of smashed the guy when he was trying to grab a puck. But obviously, the play of the season coming right after the shift of the season in that game last week. I mean, for those of you that haven't seen it, check it out on the channel. That was an absolute just a work of art against the Blackhawks. The shift of the season, and then Brodeur with the play, just mugging a guy, running him into the boards and glass, taking the puck, getting it to Pesce before Pesce gets it to Jack. It was phenomenal. Jesper Bratt, heavier, edgier, more violent. Markey is 7-0-1 his last 8 starts, maybe 8-1 after 20 days. How the hell can they sit him? Analytics, man. I'm not a fan of it. I've talked about it time and time again. I'm sure people are tired of hearing it, but it is what it is. I think Markey plays Monday for sure, but you're going to start seeing you're going to still see the random nights where he gets sat because the analytics and sports science say they can't play. John Woodson, I want to brack on because he didn't hit so far this year. He's proven wrong, but I'll be a believer when he does in the playoffs. He usually disappears. I think that's a fair take, but I do think he's going to carry this type of play into the playoffs. It would be very disappointing if he just stopped. If he's doing it during the regular season, why the hell is he not going to do it in the playoffs when it really matters? Traveling Devil, I think the Devils need to go into this playoffs. The guys they have, maybe minus Tatar and or Bastion, and see how far they get. Then offseason trade who didn't step up and fill spots as needed. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment, Traveling Devil. If you had to pick, two positions that could be upgraded, that would be most likely be the two guys. And so, again, I think that's more likely than a top 6. A lot of people are calling for the top 6. I think you're going to see, maybe a revamped 4th line, especially if the bottom 6 continues to not contribute offensively, because that is a problem for the playoffs. I do think it is possible to go on a deep run despite that. With solid defense, solid goaltending, and the top 6 playing well, you still can go far, but it's not ideal whatsoever, and you ideally would like to have that more balanced attack that we saw earlier on in the season. 100 likes, nice. Susswall, looking forward to a heaping helping of Instagram hockey on Monday. Go Devils. That's awesome. Instagram hockey, baby. I want Mac in the lineup. Let him run away and smash all those a-holes. Yeah, I hope so. McDermott can still pound Miller into the ice. Oh, Miller would never. Miller would be running for his life from them. Most crazy all the time. The Mercer hate has to be from all the Holtz ball washers. Ace needs a Ricola. I might have him somewhere, but not easily. I'd have to go on a nationwide search to find him in here. They're definitely not easily acceptable. Easily found, rather. Reese's are goated. Leave the perfection alone. Yeah, I agree. That caramel thing, awful. Absolutely terrible. Most crazy all time. Mercer is the modern day Jay Pandolfo. He's always in the right spot on the ice. He has a long way to be Jay Pandolfo. True Patriot, I'm in a crazy 72 hours, hit the game tonight with my daughter, and then 24 hours at work tomorrow with the Firehouse crew, and then back to the Rock for Devs Rags at 1 p.m. Monday. Christmas week will be awesome with the Devils win. I agree. We need to win this game, setting up the holiday break. C-Bones, how the hell do you get home from the game so fast? I normally do get home from the games fast. I did not go to the game tonight. So I just watched the MSG post-game on my couch and then transition into the studio for the post-game. Damien, what's going on? From the last live stream, I saw most people are disliking Tatar, but honestly, despite the stats, he's still a good piece. I watched some MSG shorts, and I liked his response to gift giving. Great guy. I agree he's a great guy, Damien, but I do think for the bottom six, that was kind of a desperation signing almost by Fitzy to see if he can rekindle some of that magic with the Nico and Mercer from 22-23. It didn't pan out, and unfortunately, his game, I don't think, translates to really anything in a bottom six role, and I do think he could be upgraded. Most crazy all time. Lindy had historic injuries. I love how everyone forgets he took the youngest Devils team to set the all-time wins record. Not saying he's better than Keefe. Again, fair point. I think he did play a big role in kind of moving this young core along. He did have all the injuries last year, and again, a very suspect defense and absolutely horrific goaltending. And so to just say Lindy was the problem from last year, and that's why we're doing so good this year, I mean, I do think Keefe is a better coach, but beyond that, we have real goaltending and we have a much better defense and we have some dogs in the bottom six. I mean, the team was completely retooled in the summer by Tom Fitzgerald, and credit to him. But again, I just don't like, fully bashing Lindy because it is not apples to apples. The roster Lindy had was nowhere near this roster. Hasek was highly underrated. Might be the greatest of all time. I mean, I don't know if he's underrated. I feel like he's pretty much on everyone's, very high on everyone's list. Select the boy. The Devils were run like it was Buccaneer Beach under Hines and Lindy. Traveling Devils says, how was Hasek underrated? Alex, people say Hasek was better than Marty. He's rated just fine. Most crazy all time, Chico, my man. So proud to have you as a fellow Devils fanatic. True Patriot, Nico's getting 30 this year. I mean, yeah, he better get 30. He was on pace for 50. Obviously, we all knew he wasn't going to keep up that production, but I would love to see him get 40. Yeah, Woodson, 30, try 40. It'd be nice. It's going to be close for 40, I really do think. But I do think he easily gets somewhere in that mid-30 range, at worst case. He was always considered in the top three during his time. Hasek didn't have the good teams like Watt and Marty had. That's fair. I mean, he definitely had weaker teams in front of him. Jared Barnes, I always act like I'm at the game when I'm watching. I think my friends think I'm crazy. Oh, yeah, my friends think I'm nuts. They always have. Hasek is in my top two. I have the whooping cough. I don't think so. He was from the Rona. It's definitely not the Rona. Alex, I'm an original six goalie guy, so my opinion is fucked. Hasek was sick to watch. Yeah, Hasek was great. Jared Barnes, Marky's new mask was fire. Yes, it was. Cape Dweller, Devil D like the glory days, a puck mover paired with a banger. And yes, my friend, Cape Dweller, you hit the nail on the head. It's like the blueprint was there for the whole league, really. And those Devils teams were a puck mover paired with a banger. And this is kind of closer to that. Yeah, you got the mobile guy and the stay-at-home smasher. and it's a proven formula to be good teams. And like I said, there's so many things about this team that are reminiscent, in my opinion, of the Glory Day Devils. Chico, Buffalo, at this point, things probably won't change for them until the fans basically start boycotting the games. But what do you think that's gonna change, though? Like, do you think the owners are gonna be like, well, what are they gonna do? I mean, it is crazy how many good players have slipped through their fingers over the years. Hasek was on a crazy Loaded Wings team. Insane Pollock, marathon streams after big wins are the best. Someone get this guy a shot of Dayquil. Jay Snow, I don't know. They keep mentioning Trent Frederick's name, but I doubt Boston's going to move him. Another team that was looking kind of down and out, we see a coaching change there, and they get the coaching change bump as well. And they are now in third place in the Atlantic. Crazy. Passing up the Lightning. As it stands right now, yeah, guys, wow. Wild stuff. The Bruins are now third in the Atlantic. The Devils are technically first, but I don't play that game. Because we had 4 games more played than the Caps and Hurricanes, which is annoying. Like, at what point is that going to level off? I have to look at the schedule and figure it out because it's so annoying. But Devils second in the division in terms of points percentage at 653. Caps still in first at 719. And then the wild card is going to be a dogfight. Absolute dogfight. Right now, Lightning in the first wild card spot with 38 points. The Sens in the second with 36. Right behind them, the Pens with 35. Flyers with 34. And the Rangers with 33. I mean, is it possible the Rangers are going to miss the playoffs? Madden and Mercer are very similar players, but Woody doesn't watch the game, so he doesn't know that. I with all due respect to Mercer, I don't think that he's nearly the, I just don't, I don't think it is my bias, but like, Madden's nickname was Mad Dog. Like, he had that dog in him, and he was a shutdown center. Like, he would go up against Joe Thornton, the other team's best lines, and he took that as like a badge of honor. I'm going to shut this guy down, as did Pando. And over the years, super underappreciated. A lot of the guys from all the old teams will say that those two are probably the most underrated guys, by and large, because they took on tough assignments night in and night out. And Pando and Madden are arguably probably two of the best defensive forwards in Devils history, I would say. They might be the top two. I got to think about that for a minute. I like Granlund from San Jose. I've seen people saying that a lot. Mostly crazy all the time. Chico is the smartest man in this chat. John Woodson saying Madden and Mercer are similar is like saying Elias and Big Mac are similar. I mean, I think that's a little bit of a stretch. Jay Snow, the Rangers play Carolina tomorrow, so if they win that game, they'll be looking for 3 in a row going into Christmas. The Devils got to be ready to play. Devils-Rangers is always going to have a little bit of that extra to it. Traveling Devil, Madden was a better two-way player than Mercer. Fully agree there. I mean, Madden is as good as it gets. Luke Perry, John Woodson agreed. The comparisons are ridiculous. Madden and Pendo were elite defensive forwards. I agree there, Luke. They probably the two best in Devils history, I think. Or at least in my time as a fan, from 94 on. Insane Pollock, if they didn't beat the Stars like they did the other night, I bet they wouldn't show up, but now they probably will with Igor stealing that one. I mean, listen, Igor can steal series, like I told you guys. If they get in the playoffs, they're dangerous. I would love to see them miss. Luke Perry, Madden was much tougher to knock off a puck than Mercer is. That's all I know. But how about Johnny Madden? What a threat he was shorthanded. The Mad Dog on the PK? Legend. John Woodson, take no shit defensive forwards. Chico, Madden in his prime was elite. LOL, not when he was at the point Mercer is now. Let me just check something. I mean, Madden's rookie season, we won the cup. Or his first. So he played his true rookie season. I mean, he played in 4 games, 98, 99, but 74 games in 99, 2000. And he was older. He was 27. I mean, Mercer had way more NHL games played. Much earlier, age-wise. Analytics is what's ruined baseball. This is what drives me crazy, too. Everyone has nostalgia glasses on about these older players. Chico, this is one where I don't think it's nostalgia, man. I really don't, Chico. Madden and Pando were those dudes. Straight up were those dudes, and I don't think it's nostalgia. I mean, if I pulled up the playoff runs, if you look at the guys they were matched up against, I mean, we're talking about superstars of the game. Whether it was, Mario Lemieux in that 2001, was that the Eastern Conference Finals or the second round in 2001? I have PTSD. I've kind of blocked it out. I think it was the Eastern Conference Finals. Pittsburgh, Sundin and the Leafs, Thornton and the Bruins. I mean, they took the tough assignments every night. Traveling Devil Mercer is nothing. Mercer is nothing close to Madden. Older players played real hockey. Now we play pond hockey. Man, Woodson's just making too many good points tonight. As much as I hate his trolling, I mean, we align on a lot of old school principles, Woodson. That's why I tolerate you. Luke Perry, Madden's first full season was 2000. He was insane. Completely insane. Short-handed weapon. I want to say he had like 7 or 8 shorties one year. Hold on. He had 6. As a rookie, Madden had 6 shorties in the 99-2000 season, led the NHL, and set a Devils team record. Unbelievable. John Madden, 6 shorties. He was a guaranteed shorthanded. Lethal. Jared Barnes, hey, Ace, what are the chances we sweep the Rangers in the season series this year? To quote you, I'd love to see it. I'm going to say not good. I mean, just to win that many games against a rival, it's hard, and especially spread it over time. I think they obviously win the series, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Rangers managed to get one. There's too many times to play your arch rival and to come up short. John Woodson, Madden equals shorthanded dog. Luke Perry, I'll have nostalgia for guys like Madden and Pando because they did your jobs very well and it paid off very well for the team. Yeah. Guys that knew their role and executed. They were cogs in the bigger machine, and they got 2 cup rings apiece. And I put them both in the Ring of Honor easily. Mostly crazy all the time. Really is the top penalty killing forward and 4 years younger than Madden when John was on top. No, you're not going to win this one. Mostly crazy. He's got a ways to go before he can shine John Madden's or sharpen John Madden's skates. We can't win 4 in a row. How are we going to sweep anyone in a season series? Well, that's exactly the point, Woodson, because it's not a series. We could potentially sweep it because it's not consecutive. I'll take winning 3 out of every 4. Don't get me wrong. Rich Reynolds, Devils are going to destroy the regular season champions on Monday. I hope so. Yeah, Traveling Devil, if they go 3-1, 3-1 all playoffs, they lift the cup. Absolutely. One team in the East and West, you guys want the Devils to avoid playoffs. I'm going to have to go Canes. Canes are probably the single team in the East I'm the most afraid of, followed by probably the Panthers. In the West, now definitely the Avalanche. Definitely the Avalanche. Their cup, they've won their cup. They've been there before. They have veterans, and now they have 2 former Devils goalies. I want no part of the Avalanche. Bring on anybody else. Blackatron, for Christmas, I got my nephew an autograph photo of Henrique punching Ryan McDonough dead in his face. Nice. That's a very nice one. Traveling Devil goes Washington and Edmonton. Lightning, Avs for me. That's fair. Kieran, Mac on Monday, please. I definitely want to see Mac. So what's happened to Nolan Foote? Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. What did he play? A game or two and then he was done? I don't know. Ace, my man, where'd you get that frame pic of Marty holding the cup behind you? I got it at a I think I got it signed myself years and years ago. I've been collecting for 30 years. So this, what you see here is a very, very small, a very small sliver of what I have. And one day I hope to have my full museum set up and do a beautiful tour of all of the items. It'd be a very, very, it'd be a multi-part series, actually. It could be just, I don't think anyone could quite fathom the sheer volume of what it would be. Jared Barnes, what names are being floated out there in the trade market right now, and who you'd want to say, who would you want for, say, Tatar, maybe Bastion? Way too early, but there's plenty of guys out there that would represent an upgrade, in my opinion. And people keep throwing out Frederick. I think he would just be, one of many that we'll see. But now, the Bruins aren't going anywhere, so I don't see them moving him. It's going to be depth pieces from teams that are selling off. I think we have to wait closer to the deadline to even look at what teams are going to be in that position. Luke, Madden made Super Mario nuts. Definitely did. Madden won a Selkie. Absolutely. Beast. Mario's nickname was Ace, and Madden called him that during the 0-1 playoffs to trick him. That's pretty funny. Mostly crazy all the time. Ace, Madden got to cook for extra seasoning in the AHL. Dawson came into the team at 18. No, listen, I get it. Mostly crazy all the time, but just take it from the old timers. The kid's got a long way to go to really be in the conversation. I mean, Madden just, I just read that stat. As a rookie, he said he led the NHL with 6 shorties, and he was taking on the top defensive assignments night in and night out. I hope Mercer could get there, but if I'm being honest, that's asking a lot because Madden is arguably the single greatest defensive forward in team history. Jason, as we play Boston, we definitely relive the 95 Eastern Conference quarterfinals, also the 1994 Eastern Conference semis, and especially the 2003 Eastern semis before the 2003 Cup. We played them in the in 2003. It was the quarterfinals, and then in the semis we beat the Lightning. Madden was older when he came into the league. Dave, I think it's important to remember that Luke is still very young and might already be a top defenseman in terms of offensive ability. His defense game will definitely improve. He's not even in his prime. Yeah, I agree there. I would already say, there's not many more guys as offensively gifted as him. It's just now finding the balance of the defense and the offense, because last year we saw him kind of go all in on the offense and, looked lost defensively on a lot of nights. And obviously you want to see, when he's out there that he's being responsible defensively and not giving up chances going the other way. But he's definitely shown what he's capable of doing offensively. I mean, amazing. The skating, the shot, the finding space, finding guys. He's a threat every time he's out there. Luke, okay, but still Madden was insane on defense. He was my favorite player growing up. Great. He was just a great player during a great era on some great teams. Traveling Devil, teach them Ace. Sergei Brilin was another great defensive forward. Yes, he was. Love me some Sarge. Another one of those under the radar guys that gets forgotten about. Obviously, the organization knows what he did. They put him in the Ring of Honor, the first player to go into the Ring of Honor. But D-Rock, I skate in a pair of John Madden's old skates. All I do is give up short. Jared, Lightning have been a bad matchup for us so far. For us so far, it's between them and the Canes. Yeah, elite goalies scare me, but we've seen the Devils struggle with mediocre goalies too. But if you have the option, I'd rather go against a goalie that's not on the level of a Shesterkin or Vasilevsky. If you have the option, Alex, Jared, exactly, especially if Vasi's on. Sheesh. Are the Sabres going to be able to break their streak, and who will be the team? Well, I mean, at some point they're going to have to win. I have no idea who. But Jason, though, Tampa has our number. Ryan Johnson, this is a silly conversation. Madden would dance on Mercer's head. Ruff had to be pissed when he saw all the offseason moves. Yeah, that's why I was definitely last season very upset with Fitzy, because I thought if he had tried to get a goalie and maybe one other, even just the goalie actually, would have given us at least a chance to try to claw for the playoffs, and he just watched us drown. It was unfortunate. I think it was a calculated decision by the owners, if I'm being honest. You know, they didn't want to spend the Dougie LTIR money. We didn't get a goalie. We did nothing else. And so we just sat back and we're like, well, if they can pull off a miracle, they do. If not, we'll have a high draft pick. And that's kind of what happened. Curious, did anyone set an over-under on Rempe game suspended? I will set the bar at 3 games. Oh, he's definitely getting more than that. I got the over on that all day. Madden should come back as a coach. He is. He's an assistant, I think, with the Utah Hockey Club, I believe, not head coach. At some point, the Devils need to break the curse of the Canes. Luke, listen, no one would love to go through them more than me, but if I'm being honest, I'd rather just avoid them. I would, because if we went against them again and lost, oh man, it would hurt. Where is he coaching now? Is it Boston? I saw him on a team's bench. I can't remember which team. He was with the Panthers. Where's Madden coaching? Yeah. I thought Madden was coaching Utah. I think he's assistant coach in Utah. Pando is the head coach of Boston University now. The Terriers, where he played his college hockey. Yep, and he's the assistant coach with the Utah Hockey Club. John Madden. Luke Perry, it's going to be hard to avoid them. The Rangers seem to know how to beat them in the playoffs. Listen, the East, there's no easy wins in the East, obviously. I mean, Toronto is good. It's looking like Boston could be on the rebound. Panthers obviously are very good. Won the cup last year and went to the finals the year before. Lightning have been there before. Canes, Capitals. I mean, the East, this might be as loaded as the East has been in quite some time. I mean, the teams are all very good. There is no easy path for an Eastern Conference team to win the cup. I don't know. Is it that the Devils have trouble against the Canes in the playoffs? They do. Rod Brendamore, man. He is a smart hockey mind. And I personally would prefer to avoid them. It would feel very nice to go through them. But the fact is, if we played them and lost again, it would really sting. It would really sting, but you know, you're gonna have to play. There is, like I said, there is no easy wins. The East is just loaded. There is no clear, easy path. I think it's the curse of Shane Willis. Oh man, he was another one of Scotty's victims. Shane Willis, come on, pop. Oh man. I think tonight, before I go to sleep, I'm gonna queue up some of Scotty's greatest hits. And that Ron Francis one was brutal. Remember that, Luke? When Ron Francis had the Gumby legs, looked like Bambi trying to get back to the bench. It was sad. Ottawa's hot now, yeah. Let's see, what's Allmark's numbers now? After a little bit of a slower start for Allmark, Is he delivering what they need? Yeah, pretty good numbers. 12 wins, 3 shutouts, 237 goals against, 916 save percentage. Mostly crazy all the time. I'm going to let the Mercer-Madison comparison go for now, but if I remember right, Madden highest point total was 44. Mercer has beating that 2 times. Listen, there's more than points. And if Madden's scoring 44 and shutting down the other team's top lines, you take that any day over a guy who's just so defensively, or even a better than average, but not giving the same defense. Yeah, Madden had 25 points as rookie season, then 38, 23, 41, 35, 36, 32, 43. Wow. John Madden, another guy that belongs in the Ring of Honor. Luke, I wonder how the Devils will fare against the Bruins this year. They always have an issue with them. Yeah, and Boston's another one of those teams that has been tough for years and years. Very good player. Very good players. Shutout was there tonight. Yes, it was. Stats may be similar, but Madden also played in what we call the dead puck era. Scoring was way lower than what it is today. That is also a fair point that Luke brings up. You did see a lot more tight, low-scoring games. And tonight was reminiscent of an old-school hockey game as well. I mean, the limited chances, the low numbers of shots was like a game from that time period. Brendan Moore was almost a Devil. We have the Canes coming up back-to-back, proving ground games. Yeah, that's a huge, 2 huge games. 2 massive games for the Devils. Home and home with the Canes. And big test. Big test. We've passed them up in terms of points percentage. They're going to be looking to get back amongst the top of the division, and we just need to keep winning and take care of business. Husky Unchained, heavier, edgier, more violent. Let's go Devils. Only got to see the highlights, but Noesen is a freaking animal in front of the net. Loving this team. Absolutely love this team, and you need to watch the whole sequence leading up to the Nico goal. Noesen was just barreling Shea, just completely owning his life in front of the net, which led to Nico being able to locate the loose puck and jamming it in. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. What's Madden's plus minus compared to Mercer? Let's see. Let us look. I mean, in 21-22, Mercer was minus 25. He was plus 22 the great year for the Devils, 22-23, and then minus 26. You know, Madden was minus 2 in the first 4 games of 98-99 that he played. Then plus 7 his rookie season. Then plus 24 in 2000-2001, another painful one. What a team that 2000-2001 Devils team was. And then it was basically pluses for the next few years until we get to 05-06, coming out of the lockout. Dire Wolf, if we had a prime Madden on this team now, Nico would have 100 points, not having to take the tough assignments. For sure. But for now, Nico has to do that because we don't have a prime Madden. But, man, a guy like a prime Madden on this team, wow. Sick. Jared Barnes, Celebrini, Bedard, jackhughes. Who has the better career if you had to guess? Just curious what you think. In terms of what? I talk about like points. If you're going points, Or like, are you giving stock to cups and stuff? If you're going pure points, I'd probably go Celebrini. If you're going cups and other things, I'm going to probably go Jack. Got a tough schedule coming up. Absolutely. Nason's interview was good after the game. I actually didn't see it. I missed it somehow. After I get off of here, I catch up and watch all of everything that came out before I record a video that comes out in the morning. Selected boy, both Rod Brindamore and Curtis Joseph were close to becoming Devils. Thank God we got Stevens. Yeah, Lou was not budging. He was like, no. We want Scott Stevens. And it is crazy how that, that whole tampering situation basically was one of the biggest pieces in setting up the Devils dynasty. Yeah, they tampered and we got Stevens. I can't deny it. I was really hoping Dilly was going to go at it. Yeah, I was too. Peyton Bratton with the super chat. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Go Devils. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to you as well. Go Devils. They gave us a treat, an early holiday treat tonight, and they got to follow it up on Monday with another big one against the New York Rangers. Got to follow it up with another one. Another one before the holiday break. Nothing is better than beating the New York Rangers. And it would be a beautiful sight to see. But thank you, Peyton. Very much appreciated. Happy holidays. Richard can't deny. Yeah, Dilly, I thought he was out there after we scored the empty net. I thought there was a chance he was going to fight. He tried to get one earlier, and I forget who it was with. The guy wanted no part of it. I thought in that final minute and a half that we may have seen some shenanigans, but it didn't happen. Lou was a genius. What are the best 3 free agent signings in Devils history? Oof. Free agent signings? I'm going to have to go Brett Pesce, Brendan Dillon, and no, I don't know. Free, because a lot of the best moves the Devils made were trades and not free agent signings. So I'm trying to think who was a free agent that really moved the needle. Well, I guess if you're saying it's just a signing, essentially, it doesn't even have to be both Rafalski and John Madden were just signed. So those would be 2 big ones because those guys both played huge roles on the 2000 and 2003 Cup team. So I would say Rafalski and Madden are definitely in the conversation. You think Celebrini is going to be a better player than Jack? I'm just saying more points. I think. But this is like silly speculation, but I do think Celebrini is going to be very good. Celebrini already plays more of a 2-way game. Morty, we'll smoke the Rangers Monday 3-0. I would love to see it. Traveling Devil, Celebrini is going to bulk up in a few years and become a great player. Dude has a huge head that doesn't fit his kid body. Jason Seville, of course, I believe that Marty Brodeur has the most shutouts all time, and yeah, he has the most victories all time, especially during the 95 playoffs in games 1 and 2 in Boston. Man, I can't believe that was, nearly 30 years ago. Wild. Mogilny was a trade. And And that was a great trade at the deadline before the 2000 Cup run. Great Lou move at the deadline. He's done so many of them. Friesen is definitely one. Friesen was traded here as well. He was traded in that Sikora deal. That's what I'm saying. So a lot of them, it's hard. Straight up signings, I think we're going to be hard pressed to find. Rafalski and Madden were, I believe, just signed. Friesen was a trade, yeah. Madden was drafted while in Michigan. He played almost 3 full years with the River Rats. Yeah, he was I guess signing. He was signed after being drafted. Rafalski was an undrafted free agent. I'm looking at something. No, he wasn't. I'm pretty sure he wasn't drafted to the NHL. He was just a Lou find. Yeah, he was signed as an amateur free agent. He wasn't drafted either. I'm counting that. He wasn't an unrestricted free agent, but he was a free agent. I'm counting Madden in the conversation. He was not drafted. Nico got 17 goals already. What a year he's having. Yeah, absolutely. Nico, the captain. Gray Fox Patriot, thoughts on Justin Dowling? I mean, listen, he's been filling in and hasn't been sticking out in a negative way. He also hasn't been sticking out in a positive way either. Brian Johnson was the best when he played for our Devils along with Langenbrunner, Gomez, and Friesen. Man, that was such a great squad. Absolutely insane squad. Husky and Shane still pissed about the Sikora trade. Yeah, but how can you be pissed about it? The results are what they are. It sucked to see Sikora on the other side in the 2003 Cup Finals on the losing team for the Ducks. But we won. I mean, yeah, we got a cup. You can't argue with the result. That sucked, but it got us a cup, yeah. Okay, so you're being more specific now, Jack. I'm talking about NHLs who played for a different team for however long and signed with the Devils. There's not going to be many. Let's see. Let me see if I could. If you're talking about guys that played for other teams, there honestly hasn't been many. And I'm assuming you mean that we didn't trade for them first and then re-sign them, just to straight up we signed them in the summer. There's not a lot. It is crazy to think about, but there's really not a lot. Depending on how all this plays out, I mean, they might be guys on this team. If this team wins a cup, I'm going to go Dougie Hamilton, Brett Pesce, and Brendan Dillon. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of notable true unrestricted free agent signings where we got a guy that, like you mentioned, played for another team and then we signed him. There hasn't been a ton. Most of our guys that really made an impact were brought in via trade. Rupp was drafted by the Islanders, I think. I think we traded for him too, but he never played for another team, so that would be thrown out of the criteria that was given for this. And he made his NHL debut in that 02-03 season. You know what? Fair point. They still signed him to a pro contract. I didn't think about it like that. Ace, you should play the first few seconds of Been Caught Stealing and tell me they shouldn't use that as Nason's goal song. Let me see. I like it. I don't know about. I know the song. I don't know about it as for a goal song. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna analyze that later. We'll reconvene on that. Let me see. Yager, yeah. I mean, it was awesome to see Yager, but like, what did that really do? It did nothing. That team was so bad, and he led the team in scoring on a team that went nowhere. Lou never went after the big fish in unrestricted free agency. I think he tried a couple times. It wasn't his, it wasn't his forte per se. But back then, I think a lot of guys didn't want to play under his rules. Is Sergey Brilin still coaching with the Devils? Yes, he very much is. He just this year celebrated his 30th year with the organization, and they actually put a video on social media of him getting presented with a jersey with 30 on it for 30 years in the past couple of days. We drafted Matt in the year he won the Hobie Baker Award. I remember all the hockey mags praising Lou for this. No, they just signed him. They didn't draft him. They just signed him. Blew my mind to break up the A-line. I think you and every other fan. A very shocking maneuver at the time. The A-line was everything. The River Rat team was coached by Robbie Fatorik. They were unbeatable. Yeah, they won the Calder Cup in 94-95, the same year that the Devils won their first cup. Of course, I remember Corey Schwab, 2003 Stanley Cup champion with your New Jersey Devils, and I remember him beating the ever-loving snot out of the Islanders goalie, Tommy Soderstrom, on a Saturday afternoon game. It was beautiful. Wolf Rock in 74, he won the cup for Sikora in 2000 after that dirty hit. I remember Patty wearing his jersey after the game was over. Yep. He had it on backwards. And Larry also had it on at one point too, after that dirty elbow by Hatcher. I guess Dougie's 100% a free agent signing. And so it's hard for me to put that on the list because he still hasn't done anything. But because of lack of other ones, I mean, if this team wins a cup, if they win the cup this year or next year, and assuming Dougie's on the team, I'm going Dougie, Pesci, and Dylan as the three greatest free agent signings ever, because I don't think there's any other ones from back in the day. I'll make it a little easier. Top 5 acquisitions excluding draft in Devils history. And now that's a whole nother thing. In no particular order, definitely Scott Stevens is on the list, obviously. You could make the one, if not both times we traded for Claude Lemieux. So the first time that we brought him in, which he was a huge part of the 95 Cup team, obviously, and he was a good part of the 2000 team as well. But Claude Lemieux definitely on there, one of the 2 times for sure. That's on there. So we got Stevens, Claude. I think I put Mogilny on there probably for the 2000 Cup. And that Langenbrunner and Neuendijk coming here for Arnott, McKay, and a pick. That's a massive one too. I don't think we win that. And the Jeff Friesen deal, Sikora. There's a lot. That's probably at least 5 or 6. Those are definitely all high on the list though, because they were all moves that led to winning cups. Kovalchuk would be on there, but it's further down because we didn't win a cup with Kovalchuk. So he can't be as high up there. Wolf Rock at number 18 should be retired. Ace, very disrespectful in my opinion. What do you think? I could see the argument for it, but I do think the Ring of Honor is sufficient. He was a depth. Don't get me wrong, great contributing depth piece to the Devils Cup teams. But I think if you put guys like him in as retired jerseys, you run the risk of becoming the New York Rangers. And now where do you draw the line? I mean, and maybe you could view it differently for guys that won cups. But I did think the Ring of Honor was pretty fitting for him, and he was the first player to go in. Cape Dollar, Bobby Carpenter was a free agent in '93. Okay, so he would have to be on there. He was a nice piece of that '95 team. So he's up there. I forgot he was a free agent. Yeah, because I was very young at that time, so some of the details are fuzzy on how they got here. Rolling on the floor laughing, I completely forgot about that goalie fight. That was crazy. Crazy fight. Carpenter was such a big reason we won the 95 Cup. I'm going with Cape's pick. No, it's definitely up there. Oh, Wolf, you were there. I was at the game where Schwab beat the hell out of the Islanders goalie. They were scraping the blood off the ice. Awesome game, Ace. Let me drop this in the chat for those of you that don't know what we're talking about. One of the greatest displays of heavier, edgier, more violent. A rare afternoon off for the great Martin Brodeur. And there was a little skirmish behind the net, and Corey Schwab was like, it's time for me to get involved. It's time for me to get activated and get in there. And he pops. Just watch the video. I just dropped it in the chat. It's phenomenal. Husky and Chain was friends with Steve Sullivan when he came to play for the Greyhounds. Started cheering for the Devs. They drafted him in '94. How lucky it was. Always liked Steve Sullivan. Always loved Steve Sullivan. I liked him when he was on the Rats. I rooted for him. I remember watching him at South Mountain Arena back in the day when he came to some camps for the Devils. I remember when he made his debut, and then he eventually got dealt to Toronto, I think, in that the Gilmore deal. I think we had a lot of young guys that eventually got cashed in. Let's face it, Lou was just on fire from 95 to 2003 for making trades. He really did. He just had a knack for the levers to flip and the kind of guys to bring in to give us that extra bump. Steve was so freaking talented that guy's individual skills were insane. Now Lou is rotting in Long Island. I also remember Jim Dowd as well as Chris Terreri and Bob Carpenter. 95 Cup champs, guys. These guys are legendary figures in New Jersey Devils history, for sure. You gotta love Lou. Hall of Famer, and he's the reason why the Devils ever became what they did. All right, I'm going to take a 2-minute bathroom break, and then we'll wrap up here. It's getting late. Appreciate all of you for joining tonight. Great Devils win. I'm going to take a 2-minute bathroom break, and then we'll wrap up. So throw out any of your final questions, comments, whatever. Throw it out there. I'll be back, and we'll wrap up. Be right back. 2 minutes. Man, we got a lot of old school fans in here tonight. Shout out to cheers to you guys. I love this new revamped, heavier, edgier, more violent New Jersey Devils club, and I love BSing about the old time squad. We talked on a lot of old school shit tonight. A lot of old school shit. Bobby Carpenter. I mean, wow, I don't know that he's ever been mentioned on a live stream yet. The glory days for the younger fans that are in here. I'm hoping that this season is the start of the new glory years, glory days. It's been a long time for all of us old folks, and I was very fortunate. I became a fan as a little kid in '94 and was brought for an amazing ride through childhood, through my senior year of high school. And then for the most part since then, aside from that somewhat of a fluke 2012 Cup run, which we fell short, and that 22-23 season where we had the franchise record and beat the Rangers in the playoffs, there has not been that much to really celebrate in terms of New Jersey Devils. Didn't they used to train at South Mountain? Yes, they did, in beautiful West Orange, New Jersey, and it was awesome. Completely awesome. I used to cut school. Shout out to my ma. Love you, ma. Often my senior year, I'd be like, I don't feel good. And I'd make her call the school, and I would just go watch the Devils practice. It was a great era of life. Pre-social media, pre all the bullshit, a better time. And I'm so glad I grew up in the time I did. I tell you what. Traveling Devil, I met a guy on the golf course in Miami last week while surveying, and he asked me about my Devils hat. He said he was friends with Terrari and lifted the cup at his house in '95. That is sick. Sick. In Lou, we trust always. Wolf Rock and Love Sully. I would have loved to see him stay with New Jersey. I went to school with Dowd and Brick. He had a party at his house. We got to drink from the cup. Amazing times. I missed those days. Oh, that's awesome, Wolf. Jimmy Dowd. Jersey Jim. That obviously is sweet. Supamaki 44. Stephan Noesen was my favorite. Another just beauty of a man on that 1995 New Jersey Devils. All the French Canadians. The great Martin Brodeur, coached by Jacques Lemaire. Stephan Noesen, Claude Lemieux. Wow. Wolf Rocking, good night, Ace, and to all my Devils fans. Happy holidays to you and yours. See everyone on Monday night. Let's go, Devils. Let's go, Devils. Thanks for showing up. Wolf, we'll talk to you soon. John Ginkley, I've seen it up all close. I still got to figure out something with you, John. I'm going to message you soon. I've been thinking about it. I don't know. I got to figure out what you want to do, if you want to do anything. But you're John is sitting on some very, very, very nice footage for all the old-time fans. And he was kind enough to share some snippets with me of some insane stuff that John has. Jesse, I wish I had been old enough to drink from the cup. Oh, man, you guys are bringing me back. When they won in '95, they had their celebration at Rascals. Oh, damn, my uncle owned the place and got to meet the team and hoist the cup. No drinks, though. Oh, that's awesome. I was too young to go to any of those. That was the comedy club also in West Orange, right, Jesse? Rascals? I remember hearing about it and would pass by. Jason, the Devils would have had a special training camp in Hudson Falls in upstate New York. Me and my Hudson Falls Tigers would have played rugged hockey. My family would be so proud. South Mountain, yes. Brandon Thompson just got home and watched the game recap. We need to sign Stephan Noesen for the longest contract possible. So we signed him for 3 years. He's here for this year and 2 more years. He is currently he's currently 31. And he's turning 32 in February. So when his contract's over, he'll be 34. He might have one more in him. Yeah, I don't see any reason, assuming that he doesn't go for all the money. I think he will have decent money by then. Would love to see Stephan Noesen retire a New Jersey Devil. Jay Snow, I was 13 when the Devils won their last cup. I was mad young. I really want to see another cup. Yeah, that's a young, so I was 17, just about to be 18. And I obviously, there's a very big difference between 17 and 13, but I was about 14 turning 15 for the second one. And I was super into it. I was very into it in '95 as well. But, as you get older, you do take on a different appreciation for stuff as you comprehend and kind of understand stuff more. So it is definitely more special, in my opinion, when you're a little bit older. Husky Unchained, we both lucked out starting to cheer for the Devils in 1994. Absolutely. Husky Unchained, see you Monday. See you Monday, sir. Share it. That's up to I got to talk to John. He sent me clips. He has some real amazing stuff, Traveling Devil, that you would really like. And I wouldn't post any of it without his permission. I would like to figure out something that made sense to put a lot of it out. because he has some wild stuff. Select the boys. See you later. Jesse, that's the one. There were a few, but that's where they had the party. Sadly, uncle since passed, but that night will be cemented in my memory forever. Jesse, that is awesome, man. I wish I had, I was able to do a lot of cooler things related to the Devils when I got older. I mean, my parents were supportive and brought me to places, but we didn't have any like firm connections, I would say. Although my kind of Devils fan origin story started off with Kenny Danico because he owned a restaurant nearby, and my grandfather had some friends that were, kind of in his circle. And so that's kind of how I was brought into all of it. But that's amazing to have the cup at your uncle's establishment. I mean, I would have poured apple juice in that thing or something. But Monday afternoon, Rangers, yep. It's going to be sick. Selected boy, I was 14 when the Devils won in 03. So 14 is a pretty good age, though. You should remember a lot of it. Brandon Thompson, out of all the players we picked up in the offseason, which one is impressing you the most? For me, it's got to be Stephan Noesen. Obviously, it's definitely Noesen, but if we're rating the signings on 1 to 10, Noesen is clearly a 10, right? And I would say, Dylan is a solid, at worst case, 8.5, and Pesce is probably a 9.5. I mean, Fitz really did the damn thing with the signings and the trades. He did really well. So many young guns in the chat. Love it. We need to see another cup. We definitely need to see another cup. Zupamaki, I was 40 the last cup we won. Oh, so you're... What's that? Makes you about 60, 61. Insane Pollock, I was 23 for the 0-3-1. I wish I was of drinking age. It wouldn't have made that much of a difference, but it would have probably made some of the road games a little more fun. I could have watched them at bars and stuff, but I have very vivid memories of watching all the road games locked in. During that run, I remember being pumped at school all day, like Devils playoff hockey tonight. John Ginkley, I just watched the 1984 All-Star game at Byrne Arena. Have it on DVD. Crazy. That's pretty wild. Dano Def still lives in New Jersey or New York. I'm pretty sure he lives in New Jersey. Obviously, he's at the Rock all the time and also does some work for NHL Network. So that's based in beautiful Secaucus, New Jersey. Jason, we got to win really big, especially this coming Monday. I'll take any sort of win, as long as we get the 2 points, preferably giving the Rangers none. Unfortunately, Dano does not still own the restaurant. I was heartbroken when it closed. It had a good run. I forget how long it was open for, but it was open for, I want to say, maybe almost 10 years. Maybe almost 10 years. And he had a cup party every time there. It was sick. The 80s were lean. I can only imagine. Traveling Devil, the 90s, 2000s made being a fan of the 80s worth it. Yeah, luckily for me, I didn't have to go through. I was spoiled. I came right into near riches. Chico, I was 11 for the 03 Cup. 02, 03 was the first season I sat down and watched all 82 games. Jay Snow, you didn't drink when you were 17 for the last cup? I mean, legally, my guy. I was in senior year. I was into the shenanigans, but it's not like I could go to a bar and watch the game. Not that, I guess, probably then. I'll be honest, I don't really like watching most sporting events at bars unless I truly don't care about it. But like some of my buddies that like to watch UFC and stuff will go to bars. I am very locked in when I watch something that I care about. And obviously Devils hockey I care more about than anything. I need to hear everything. And I can't be listening to noise and background noise. And I want to hear every single thing said on the broadcast. I want to hear what they're talking about in between the plays. I want to hear it all. And I've never been in a place, in a public setting where you were able to do that. And that's why if I'm not at the game, I prefer to watch it at home. He lives in Randolph. Used to go to the same gym as him and his wife. Nice. Richard Zimmer, little history for the young guys. 95 was the first the Devils got to start the tradition. Each player got to spend a day with the cup. A very cool tradition indeed. Mezzaluna, you're close. It was Mezzanote, John. Richard Reynolds, I was 11 when they won the first cup in 95 and I've been hooked since. I was 9, about to be 10, and the same thing. I became a fan in 94, met Kenny Danico, talked to him for a couple minutes. He gave my family tickets a couple of weeks later, and then after I went to a game live, it was just hockey was just in the veins. It was it. That was a wrap. Completely was a wrap. He's always out in that general area, especially in the offseason. Devils Rangers, boys, hopefully it's a good game. Too bad it's at home. We're starting to slowly reverse the home rink curse. Insane Pollock, never mind. It's late. My math is off. I was 19. What did you originally say? Oh, 23. I mean, yeah. Yeah, Mezzanote is correct. Jason, no, I remember watching the Giants win the Super Bowl. I was 17 for the first Eli one, and I was shit-faced. Yeah, drinking at home is different. But I was fortunate enough to be at Game 7 in the 03 in the Cup Finals and to be at the game when they won, and it was sick. Supamaki, the Rock is going to be full of trash-talking Rags fans. Let's make them feel the heat. I think they might not be out as full force as they have been in previous years because their team sucks right now. We'll see. We will see. Insane Pollock, I just graduated high school the year before. My PE teacher was a Rangers fan. I made sure to pay him a visit to break his balls. Nice. Traveling Devil Dano probably got a lot of young fans hooked for life for sure. And he still continues to do it. When you see Danico, even at road games, no one has signed more shit, taken more pictures, shaken more hands than Ken Danico. There's a reason they call him Mr. Devil. This guy is the Devil's. The Devil's red runs through his veins. It has for nearly 40 years, and there's no greater ambassador of Devils hockey, nor will there ever be, than Kenny Danico, Mr. Devil, and rightfully so. That's sick. You got to go to the game. I didn't know you were at the game. How did you get tickets? So I was 17, and I was a pretty enterprising young man. And me and a couple of my buddies camped out at the old arena overnight. We brought our like the folding tailgate type chairs, and we just chilled out there all night. It was sick. Sick. Me and a couple of my boys posted up. Eventually, there's a huge line, but we were there overnight, camped out. As soon as tickets went on sale, went right in the box office, and I secured all my tickets for all the Cup Finals, and I went to every single Cup Finals game. I actually went to every single game, or went to every single home game of the 2003 playoffs, except for Game 1 against Boston. There was some reason why I couldn't go. I can't remember, but I went to every other game after that. So Game 2 against Boston, Game 5 was the closeout against Boston, then Games 1, 2, and the closeout Game 5 against Tampa, and then it was Games 3, 4, and 6 against the Senators in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then the Cup Finals, it was Games 1, 2, 5, and 7. What a time to be alive. What a time. John, Danico and Chico are wonderful ambassadors. Can't forget about Chico as well, but I would say he's a distant, probably second to Kenny. Dano will talk to every fan. He's super nice, and he was definitely a fun-ass guy to party with back in the day. I can only imagine. Jason, I'm definitely still a great Devils fan. I'm also a Tiger wearing green. I don't know what that really means. Insane Pollock, Bruce Driver did a lot of school events. Cape Dweller and his hands are huge. Of course they are. You used to have to buy the entire playoff run tickets as a package. They did do the strips, but they also sold single game tickets right, I don't know, it was maybe like a week before. And so I camped out for the single game ticket sale. Me and my buddies camped out right in front of the arena and got my finals tickets that day. It felt so miraculous. It was such a high walking out of the box office with the little Meadowlands envelope with all my tickets in it. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal stuff. All right. This has been another marathon. A huge New Jersey Devils win. You guys are all chatty. Awesome talking to all of you. We went back into the old days with a lot of old-time fans. Your New Jersey Devils get it done. Get it done. They did. Beating the Jason, no, you're an idiot. I did not do that. I actually didn't even I never even dabbled with it until college, but that's a story for another day. Devils win 3-0. Markstrom with a 12-shot shutout. Devils have held their last 6 opponents to 20 shots or less. The Nico, Timo, Noesen line reunited, and it feels so good. Stephan Noesen, can't say enough about this man. And all I could really say about him is he's a junkyard dog. And he scored a goal, big goal tonight, and had an amazing display of physical brutality leading to a goal. I'm giving him the unofficial assist on the Nico goal. It was absolutely beautiful. A beautiful play leading up to it. Travel Devil, who wishes the scalpers are back instead of being forced to buy digital tickets? I will say, of the many things that I think are better about the old days, obviously not having physical tickets, like, that is a huge loss. Like, I'll just pull one that I have right here. But, like, okay. Like, how sick is this? This is a cup. This is a game 4 ticket from the 95 finals. But just look how beautiful this is. This is a work of art, right? Like, beautiful keepsakes. You guys know I'm huge in the memorabilia, obviously. This is a ticket from 95. And then this is a ticket from Game 7 in 2003. And look at that. Face value. If you guys want to vomit on yourself, $150 was the face value for a lower level ticket. I repeat, Stanley Cup Finals, $150 American for a lower level ticket. And the nosebleeds, I believe, during 22-23, I think the nosebleed seats were, I don't know, like $225, $250-ish face value. What a world we live in. Inflation's a mother, and it all sucks. And I feel bad for kids because I would never be able to ball out the way I did as a child in today's environment. It just costs way too much money. But $150 face value for lower level tickets, I mean, very manageable. Obviously not super cheap, but planning wisely as a 17-year-old, your boy was just shelling that money out. Let me get to those games. Jesse, thank you yet again, Ace, for being the ultimate fan and giving us a place to celebrate or event, or both. Thank you. Appreciate that. Smash that like. Please smash the like. I always forget about that. That's awesome, Ace. I miss tickets. I collect them for everything I go to. You can't even print them out anymore. Yeah, it's a travesty. It sucks. People got, teams figured out they could probably save a couple bucks on the season. They should give you the option to just pay more and get the tickets, but it is what it is. Rest in peace, Ticket Stubs. I'll forever remember you. And I pretty much have, outside of a few concerts that I got super drunk at, I have pretty much tickets. I have probably hundreds and hundreds of ticket stubs from everything I've ever been to. Concerts, hockey games, random other sporting events, fights, comedy shows. And the new generation won't know what that's like because they live in a digital world. All right, that's it. I could ramble on about bullshit all night. Thank you all for joining your New Jersey Devils 3-0 shutout. Markstrom is the man. Noesen is the man. Nicohischier is the man. Tom Fitzgerald is the man for bringing all these guys in. And what a night. What a night. Vincent just joined, man. Noesen is a fucking bulldog, man. I like to call him the junkyard dog, and I'll leave you guys with this. This is going to be my new... This is Stephan Noesen, the junkyard dog, back in action. Big one Monday afternoon against the New York Rangers. Let's get it done. Hit the like on the way out. Thank you, guys. This was fun. Special thanks to Traveling Devil for the monster super chat. Anyone else who did a super chat, congratulations to the contest winners. If you haven't emailed me, figure that out. And I'll be back soon. I will be back soon. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.